Hello viewers, and welcome to another stream on Dirt Rally 2.0. We'll just get the volume set up there correct for you guys. And again on the PC version, kicking off with here, a bit of PC play. And part of the impressive intro sequence. Very nice it is too. We'll have a look at the Xbox version in a bit, and I'll be using my pad for that. First, I'm just going to share the stream, and then we'll be ready to go. Not long now till some of you guys are playing this game. Let me know your thoughts on what you're looking forward to. Our sort of review team chat is coming. I know I keep delaying it. It's a bit of a pain here. Every time I try to do something on the computer, unfortunately, it freezes Dirt Rally, which is a bit of a pain. It won't just run in the background while I'm doing other things. Oh, you do actually see the mouse on the screen there. There you go. That's nice. Bit of doodah. That's probably why it confuses things. Right. Cup of tea while the stream warms up for a minute. Some of you guys, I like to surprise you guys with a bit of a stream, don't I? I don't plan any of these things. I mean, I guess I should plan them, shouldn't I? I should let you guys know that a stream is coming up, but sometimes I don't know myself, and I see in the YouTube it's telling you it's Gran Turismo, which doesn't help. It's a problem with YouTube in that the restreaming software I use doesn't actually update the game. Just update it on here. But at least the animation's working there, which is nice. So we're just, it's not having it. There we are. So that's save changes now. So already there on the main screen, and it'll be ready to go actually. So do say hello, guys. People are watching. Not saying hello. Do say hello. Apparently, I was supposed to have had an improved internet connection recently, but I can't say I've noticed any major improvements to it really. There's no audio at all now, is there? Audio's gone completely silent. Oh, there we go. There we are. Whatever's going on there. Technical issues. Oh, there's a big delay actually on the actual audio as what you're seeing on the screen. So let's see. Let's just share the stream, and then we'll be good to go. Good to go, guys, and we'll take a look at a bit more various rally activity. Of course, busy last night doing the Gran Turismo. Again, I've not been that lucky when it's come to the whole penalties situation, so didn't mind it at first, but it sort of reached a point in the FIA races when it's a little bit more, I don't know, potentially a little bit more sort of serious in that way. And the camera's a bit all over the place, isn't it? There you go. Then penalties come in, and they sort of take you out when when you're sort of needing those points, if you like. Which I Dirt Rally 2.0. Let's get the tweet up, and see, I don't have an intro video on the channel yet. I will do one eventually, and then once I've got the intro video set up, all this will be done while I have the intro going. But unfortunately, at the moment, I'm still a little bit slow at getting everything set up until I get that video going. Okay, so let's jump in and try a bit of racing. So just sending out the tweet, and let's see. So we're getting a few hellos coming in now. We've got Colnago, nice to see you. Scotty, hello from New Zealand. Christchurch, in fact. Wow, other side of the world. Amazing. And Mr. Jesper Nilsson as well. Hello from Sweden. Brilliant. So we've got international viewers tonight. That's fantastic. Right, well, I'm getting all set up here now. So obviously we're going to be doing a bit of rallying New Zealand actually tonight as well. So let's get set up. Enter. And now we're ready to go. Time for the racing gloves to go on. No mucking around here, viewers. We're serious. Serious. No, racing gloves. Yeah, it's a funny thing with the racing gloves. When I first started using racing gloves, I don't think hardly anyone used them. But then again, when I first started using a GoPro on my head, not many people use that either. Why does it feel more comfortable with gloves? It just feels more comfortable on the hands, but I need my fingers available to press the buttons. That's why I use fingerless gloves, because you need a good feel for the buttons, basically. And these buttons are designed, they're not as hard and rigid as they would be in a real car. They'd be a bit bigger and harder, rigid. So dealing with an analog stick with gloves on is a nightmare. Okay, what are we going to look at? Oh, I've got rewards. Cash. Wow, okay. It's nice. Give me cash. Okay, continue. Lovely. That's nice, isn't it? A bit of cash, needed that. What have we got then? We've got daily events. Let's look at the daily community event. I wonder if Gamer Muscle has done this, this daily community event. I wonder if he's been on here. If he is, there's no leaderboard for it, is there? Is there a leaderboard? Oh, I don't buy vehicle. I've got to buy one of these vehicles. Let's buy a Mini. I don't have a Mini. I'd like to have a Mini. Go on then. So now I can do the daily challenge. Livery select. What liveries have we got then? Oh, right, okay. Let's go for that one then. And let's select. All right then. Time to finish my tea. Phil Morris, hi from Mars. Absolutely. New Zealand, Sweden, Mars. It's all happening tonight. All happening on a Thursday evening. You're chilling. Friday tomorrow. And Madagascar. No one from Timbuktu yet. Right, let's see. What else have we got? What setup are you running for this video? PC or console? Andy, I'm going to be doing a mix, actually. So I'm going to be doing some on the PC and some on the console. All the console stuff will be done with the controller. I'm going to do a bit more Rallycross with a controller tonight. That's my thing. Right, tea and then drive. I think we'll get. We've got everybody tuning in now. Professionals from nowhere. We've got everyone else here is from somewhere. Tell me where you're from, viewers. Tell me where you're from, and what are you looking forward to most about this game and other games that are coming up. I am going to do a separate video talking about Formula One as well. They've given me an incomplete car. I've got to repair the car. Just repair it. Yep. So you buy a car that's broken and then you have to repair it. Okay. All right. Let's see then. Let's do this, viewers. Let's do this. When will they give us a new Treasure Island Dizzy? Well, that's a good question. What would it take for them to give us a new Treasure Island Dizzy? That's a good question, Casanovas. It's you know, and we've got Abhi from India. Brilliant. Hello. This is fantastic. Will you be reviewing while playing? No, Phil. We're actually got a separate review video coming up with me and Kevin. Kevin's actually played an awful lot more of this than I have. And he's really gone through the game on the PlayStation 4 version. And we've had a proper debate about this game, about things we like and don't like. Big breakdown. And I wanted it all in one video. So that video will hopefully be up tomorrow, if not Saturday at the latest. And that will literally break it all down in terms of what we think of the game. Pros and cons. A lot of the reviews at the moment have been glowing, you know, and it surprises me sometimes because I know that some of these reviewers cannot play this game to save their life, and yet they've given it a great review. So I sort of reviewed it thinking it's got to be good, so I'm going to give it a good review even though I can't play it. But there you go, that's kind of how it works these days. Oh, nighttime rally. Alright then. Alright, I'm using a Formula 1 wheel. Yes, I know it's not the most practical wheel. Yes, I'm doing Gran Turismo at the moment. That's why. So
4, 3, 2, 1. 56 left, 30. 3 right opens, 6 long. Into 1 left long. Into 3 right tightens. 50. 2 left long. 50. 4 right long. Into big cut, 5 left. Into 5 right long. Opens of a crest into 5 left. Extra long. Into big cut, 5 right. 60. 6 left. Opens 30. 6 left. Into 5 right tightens. 50. 6 left. 150. 5 left. Extra long. Into 6 right. Into cut. 5 left long. Opens 100. 6 left. 50. 6 left of a crest. Slow 50. 2 right. Into 2 left long. Into 3 right. 4 left. Into 6 right. Extra long of a crest. 60. 6 left long. Tightens 4. Into 6 right. Keep left of a 30. 3 right tightens. Into 4 left long. Into caution. 3 right long. Tightens 2. 100. 3 left. 30. 2 right long. Opens of a crest. 30. 4 left. Into 5 right. Into 3 left. Opens 6. Extra long. 30. Keep left. Into 2 right long. Into 6 left. Into 3 right long. Opens. Into 6 left. Extra, extra long. Tightens 4. Keep right over 50. 3 left tightens. Into 4 right. 30. 1 left long tightens. Into 1 right. Into 2 left. Into 3 right. Keep left over 50. 2 right long. Tightens 1. Tightens. Into 4 left long. Opens. 30. 2 left. Into 2 right. Into 2 left long. Opens. 50. 5 right long. Into 4 left long. Into 3 right tightens. Into slow. 5 left. Into 1 right long. Tightens. Opens. Into 6 left. Extra long. Tightens 1. And 2 left tightens. 2 right. Into 3 left. Into 4 right. Keep left over 50. 2 right long. Into 5 left. Into 3 left tightens. 30. 5 right long. 30. 4 left long. Opens of a crest. 30. 6 left long. 30. 3 right long tightens. Into caution. 6 left of a crest. 3 right tightens. Into 6 left. Into 4 right tightens. Into 3 left tightens.
shit. Ah, ruined it. Didn't hear that.
Extra long, opens into 6 right long, 100, 6 right long, opens to flat crest into 6 right 100, 6 left of a crest long, into 5 left of a crest, 50, 4 right long, into 5 left, keep left of a 50, 4 right, opens into 4 left long, opens of a crest 100, 5 right long, opens 30, 4 right long, opens of a crest 80, slow, 3 left, opens 5 long, 50, 6 right of a crest 100, 6 left, opens 100, flat long crest 80,
That's it.
5 right, extra long, 50, 6 left long of a crest, into 6 right long, keep right over 80, 6 left long, 100, flat middle of a long crest, over finish, 80 to stop,
Damn. Damn.
it was tough, but it felt fast.
Sorry about the sound, guys. I didn't realise that. That car, as you can see, didn't seem to have the pace of the other car. Apologies about the game volume there. I literally can't read the comments while I'm concentrating. It's so much concentration. So can we go up and down there? Can we go up and down on that? So we can. Well, on the bright side, I am the highest Mini. There, I lost 8 seconds for that crash. But you can see the Lancia was just way quicker, wasn't it? Yeah, way quicker, wasn't it, all the way down? That's the one clearly that everyone is using. Oh well, not bad, not bad. Right, hang on. I have to do it on there because I continue. So one little mistake there. I don't think you're allowed to run these again. Oh, I can't do it here. Hang on, bear with me. I don't think you're allowed to run it again, are you? I think you can only run it once. If you can run it in a... Corinne says, easy or hard, more Dirt Rally 1. It's a similar challenge to Dirt Rally 1. So, I mean, at least it seems to be to me. Are we allowed to run it again? It's completed. So you can only run it once. That's the thing, a stage. So now I know the Mini's just not quick enough, frankly. It's easier to drive, but it costs a lot of money comparatively as well for the amount you earn. Right, how much are the vehicles? I mean, that's got like way more power, hasn't it? I mean, 20 more horsepower, but it will make all the difference. Let's do something else to earn some money, and then see if we can do another daily challenge or weekly challenge there as well. Okay, so sorry if I missed some of your comments there. I will definitely check out some of it. Let's do a bit of Rallycross. Let's do a bit of Rallycross. It's a good way to earn some money, isn't it? Okay. Okay, hell in Norway. Got to remember how to do this circuit. Okay, played it in Project Cars 2, so it's getting used to. Sage Boost, thanks for the GT Sport racing as well. Brilliant. Well, thanks for saying, actually. I've enjoyed doing the GT Sport. So what's coming up soon, guys, is I'm going to be doing F1 career, and maybe doing full length F1 races as well. Putting a lot more time to Formula One again, because Formula One is my passion, and I haven't put much time into it over the years. Various reasons really, but I'm doing it because I'm passionate for it. Gaming Evolved said, "You playing press version?" Yep, we're media, so we have a media copy. We've been doing this for a long time, longer than most. Repair vehicle, there's nothing to do there, that's fine. Have you seen a difference between PS4 and PC? PC is always better, Jake Rules. I mean, I would say a bit of example is Xbox One X and PC. Xbox One X is very similar. The replays run at 30 frames on Xbox One X, 60 on the PC. The PC always looks better than console, but I believe they all run at roughly 60 frames. That's the target. And as I say, Digital Foundry will probably do a little test exploring the frame rate on them if they haven't already. So it's worth checking out that as well. We missed a question up there about when is the team chat going up from. That's a name, isn't it? Jedi Minas. Team chat will hopefully be going up tomorrow or Saturday. It's been slightly delayed, but we had some technical problems. But it has been recorded now, so it will be going up in the next day or so. And Jacob's GT Online was very contested. It was good results there as well. I'm now ranked 27th in the UK now on GT Sport in the Nations Cup. So, to go from 0 to there is really good. As my rank improves in that, I should improve as well. So, Dirt Rally does look good. Right. I am going to start, and hopefully the sound is better for you guys now. Right. Let's go, viewers. Let's try a bit. Let's earn some cash. Earn loads of money. All right. Again. Well, actually, I can talk and drive on this, can't I? Appy, that's fine. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in and for saying hello. Always good to say hello. I always appreciate when all the viewers say hello. It doesn't matter if you're first time tuning into the channel, maybe an old viewer, new viewer. Let me know. Do say hello. It makes it more fun for me to see comments coming up there. Appreciate that. There we go then. Watch the lights. Neil's telling me there. There we go. So, come on.
Ready to race. Go, go, go.
Got to learn the track again. I'm going to pause it there because I just want to check there's no. We just want to turn that off for a start. Okay. What is this time control braking? What is that? Oh, time control. Is that at the end? Oh, what? I don't know. We don't need that. We'll leave it for now. And ready. And okay, that's good. So we need the handbrake for that. Just got to learn how to drive the course, but the difficulty seems to be quite approachable when you're first playing. This, for some reason, this is a different car to what I was playing last night. I'm sure it was. Was it? Is it the same car? I can't even remember. I thought the Joker was supposed to be here. Here it is. Here's the Joker. So need a handbrake there. Ah, not got the hang of that corner at all yet. Still, difficulty is quite approachable at this stage. Hi, Horgate. Very different to drive to Project Cars 2. I was much smoother in Project Cars on it, and takes a bit of getting used to. Very different types of handling. The car was more grippy at times, and it was gripping and then not gripping. It's definitely something to get used to. I was really in the zone last night when I was doing Lohiak course. Bit of chilled music there. We've got Todd in here as well. Todd McDanger. Sounds dangerous. Dangerous, right. What have we got here? 57 viewers right now. 57 viewers. Hello, viewers. Hello, viewers. Let's crack on. Let's earn some money. Let's earn loads of money. Give me the recommended repairs and get on with it. We don't have much damage anyway. Alright then, focus viewers, focus. No, this is on the medium difficulty at the moment. So, degrees of rotation, that's a good question. I think it's set to 360 degrees, is what I normally use, something like that, just a standard. I think actually it might be 450 degrees. It might be 450 degrees actually. It's one or the other depending on how it changes sometimes. It's a bit confusing on this wheel because it has a setting in there that I don't like to muck around with very often these days because I have it set for Gran Turismo. I use an overly sensitive steering wheel because I like to steer with a throttle. So I do a lot of throttle control through the corner, which controls my car in all of my games. It's all done with the throttle control basically. Right, okay, let's try again. So with this car I'm struggling to get the back end to stand out and I'm struggling to do a controlled slide at the moment, but here we go.
Ready. Go, go, go.
Wish I had a handbrake, would have been a bit easier there, bolted on here, because
Okay, they're dropping back. Stay cool.
oops, I have to use a handbrake there. We're still learning how to drive the course at the moment, so Right, I'll just look at your comments in 2 seconds, guys. Okay, that's that done. Okay, Glenn says ending all PC or Xbox. Doing some PC now, Glenn, and then we'll probably do another daily challenge once we've done this round, and then we'll see. We'll then probably skip across to the Xbox and start playing it for controller as well. At least this way, I can kind of use the wheel. Prove my credentials to the people that have not watched VVV before that we can actually drive before moving across to the controller, and then you're going to see me play on the controller. You know. So Ben says the only thing I see wrong with the amount of games, the amount of content. Yep, content or lack of is a big issue for sure. No doubt about it. I should have watched the replay then, just to... Noah Slater says hi. In-game game in says hi. And GLG says, well, on hard, no. What's interesting about the difficulty setting is when you're playing the career on medium, it's easy. When you play single races on medium, you can't touch anybody. It's just super hard, and you're just miles away in last place. What's performance like? Have you tried triples? I haven't tried triples yet. I would like to. I will do at some point, but performance seems to be very... Codemasters make good performing games in general, so I don't think performance will be... I wouldn't expect it to be an issue. I've not had any performance issues on single screen. It's running perfectly, and it's so well optimized for console that I'd expect triple screens to work no problem. And if anyone doesn't know, Glenn makes awesome music for our channel. Thank you, Glenn. We've used his music on our channel 20 million times. So there we go. Ben says, I realize more is coming, but find it quite cheeky. Yeah, it is quite cheeky. It's cheeky that the first DLC pack isn't free. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? But there you go. Does Dirt 2 surroundings look cartoony and Dirt 1? Yes, Dirt 2 looks like you're in a dream. Doesn't feel real. Looks like you're in a dream, and I talk about that in our chat as well at some length about visual look and different locations and stuff like that. There is this dream look. It doesn't look realistic at all, which I'm not keen on personally. But there you go. Right, hold the revs. Hold them. Hold them.
Go, go, go. Now behind is falling away. No struggling.
Can't get the car into that corner right yet. I've got to find the technique. It's quite irritating. was reading there instead of driving for a second. The mention of the Scandi flick, yeah, you're probably right there. I think a flick might help into that corner. It's sort of what's happening is I'm hitting the handbrake, it's oversteering, and then as soon as I come off the handbrake, it sort of seems to swing itself back into the corner, which is causing me some problems. August said, I love racing games. Is this game bar... don't quite know what you're saying there, Jorge. Bar E to play? You have Dirt Rally and Dirt 4. Philip Robinson says, hi, chat. Hi, Philip Robinson. Let's see now. Bit of chilled music. Bit of in-house chilled music, maybe. Let's look at a bit of replay. Flash, just watching your last GT Sport race. Yes, it is. It is hard to play the grid, GT Sport, and then come straight to grid, and then to other things as well. But kind of what I've been doing for a long time. But it's just with GT Sport recently, it's nice to put a bit of serious time into one game. Get good at it. Get good. Right. Yeah, I need to learn how to drive this car. Trying to find the right way around the corners. I'm trying to force it around the corners. I've got no finesse at the moment. Okay, that was a bit of replay. Let's crack on. Is this game too hard to play? Oh no, is it too hard to play? It's not an easy game. This is a relatively advanced level game, no doubt about it. It's really hard. In some of these rally cars, it's ridiculously hard. So it's definitely not a game that's easy to get into. That's an issue with the game, and again we'll discuss that in our chat. Todd, I'm not going to do anything on tuning right now, but I get where you're coming from. Absolutely. I think that with some tuning, I'd get a lot more out of these cars. But right now, we're just going to... It's so easy anyway. You know, I think if we were losing and we had to tune to get somewhere, to get good. There we go then. I'm glad it's giving me the inside line every time. It's almost like giving me advantage, isn't it, there? Anyway. Just going to try something else this time. Bear with me, viewers. Just not using the handbrake and just driving it. Well, Big Mike's here. It's late for me. It is late for me. Normally I stream earlier in the day, but this is sort of one of those situations where I've got a copy of Doom of Dirt Rally 2, and it's out tomorrow, so you know, may as well make the most of it and get a few viewers in while we can. Hit a button there. Whoops, daisy. Have I not done the joke yet? I thought I already had. Keep forgetting if I've done the Joker. Joker. Actual Vision's here. Hello, Luke. Come on, Alan. Your score out of 10. No, I won't be drawn. I won't be drawn. We have a review coming up. I know the review's a bit late, but the work has been done. So, actually, Kevin's reviewing the game, not me. Kevin's reviewing the game. I've given my feedback on pros and cons. But Kevin is actually doing the full review. He's digging deep into this game. Deep into it. Deep. Flash is saying, is this game a bit of fun? Are you practicing for online races? This is a bit of fun, but I am keen on maybe doing some Formula One. That's, you know, I've had a look at Formula One, and I think I might be able to work on that. My score? No. That'd be telling, Luke. Tell to worm your way into that score. You know, we'll talk a bit about it in the team chat, and we'll go through some of the good and bad, and it's been you know, we'll go through everything in that. I like to break it down, and we'll see. But yeah, I mean, look at it. I mean, graphics are really nice. I mean, we'll talk about the graphics. We'll talk about the physics. You know, we'll talk about the audio. We'll talk about it all. But you know, there's a lot of room for improvement. I can tell you that there is a lot of room for improvement, and there's a few things I'm not so keen on, and there's a few things I am keen on. So there you go. It's, and then we'll just see how we get on. Right, let's get some. You know what? This is one of the issues with this Rallycross. You've got to go through all these repetitive games, haven't you? Colin's saying 4K. I'm. Hold on. I was a bit slow there because any program for a rally. Simply, sorry, I don't quite know what you mean there. We'll be doing some rally as well, but obviously at the moment we're in a Rallycross competition, so we're just going to complete the competition. That means running the same track over and over, whatever, 5 or 6 times, which I think personally is a really repetitive task. Maybe it's different when you actually got competitive racing on your hands, but obviously as I'm just too good for them, it just means that so let's try and improve. I seem to be stuck on this 42-second lap time. Let's do the Joker now then. Nearly a 41. Silly poles they put in the way. Right where I'm going to drive. Yay! Into the 41. Okay, better. Enjoying that. 4K, no, I'm playing in 1080p on the PC. 1080p, I've got these really good 1080p screens, you see, which is good because I'm somebody who likes frame rate over resolution in many respects. And they've worked perfectly. Really good. And they were really expensive, so that's what I've got. How you find your own dirt with an F1 style wheel? Flash. It's not ideal. This wheel is not ideal for this game. I would much rather be using my Sparko, Thrustmaster Sparko rim, but I'm not going to change the wheel over for another week yet. So once I've done, I've got to finish the review for this wheel, but says it all, doesn't it? Really pleased with it. Cracking piece of kit, no doubt about it. Cracking piece of kit. Bit of music. Bit of music for you evening. It's nice and chilled. Carry on. It's done. Exit this now. Just turn the music down a bit so you guys can hear me. Oh, and the game channel has gone completely. Oh, there it is. Oh, and there's a final. Darn. Let's get the final done. Alright then, let's do this. Recommended repairs. Yep. Not bad. Good as new. Lovely. Proper geezers in the garage doing their job. And we're ready to go.
to race. Go, go, go. Okay, they're dropping back. Stay cool.
Awesome. Glenn, can't believe you've still got to wait 4 days. I know. I know. Or is it 2 days? Is it tomorrow? Digital release is tomorrow. Digital release is tomorrow. And I suppose it's deluxe version, isn't it? Deluxe version tomorrow. Deluxe version tomorrow. Is that music? Nice and chilled, isn't it? Nice and chilled. I quite enjoyed that though. That was good. Good rally action there. Got better at it every time. You know, it's learning all the time now. I said to you I couldn't do that corner and I didn't understand how to do it. Well, I learned actually that I was simply going in there too quickly. It was you had to brake quite a lot and go very slow in, fast out. That was the tactic to that corner. So that was the tactic to all the corners in that car, was slow in, fast out. Yeah. So you go slow, handbrake at the apex, and then get on the power. So brilliant. And Kai lives next to Hell. Well done. Lovely. Have you been there? Have you been around the circuit? Event finished. There we go. Got some achievements as well. Not bad. Not bad. Points. Cash. Cash. Nelly D Gamers here as well. Hi Nelly. Unlocks in a couple of hours. It's something I do need to do is get back on the forum. I'm sorry I've not been on the forum for a while. Just been working such long hours on other content behind the scenes. It's taken up all the time. So that's those two done. Let's quit. Quit. And Abhi is back. Thought you'd gone to bed, Abhi. Go to bed. It's late. What time is it? Goodness me, look at the time. 10 o'clock at night. Nearly 15 minutes, 8:45. My watch is fast. What we got here? Daily challenge is no available vehicle. Oh, well, let's use this then. Let's use this then because it costs more money. It's got more power. Give me the vehicle with most power. Yeah, go on. Ah, really? Guy, that's great. Amazing, amazing. Isn't it? Isn't that great fun to race a track like that? I can imagine. Amazing. But you know what you don't realise is we got is that F1 Ashbacks there as well? FI Ashbacks. Thanks for that. What was I going to say? Driving it's funny when you go to a racetrack like that and you look at what these guys do and you think, I'll never go in my car, and you don't realise how quick these guys are. I mean, these guys that do this in these real cars, they drive at lethal speeds. I mean, absolutely lethal speeds. All right, we're on low yet. All right, then. Let's do the daily challenge, viewers. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Let's see if we can smash it. That previous rally, I think we'd have done better on if we'd used the right car. Clearly, I used the wrong car. Is this the right car? Let's go for power. Actually, just before I do, I'm going to be straight back, viewers. Get some more water. Okay, viewers, ready? Let's see how we get on then. Okay, I'll have a look at my Fanatic settings, whatever they are. I'll have to have a look. Right. Repair vehicle. Do we need to repair it? No, it's fine. They've actually given me a vehicle that works, maybe? It doesn't. I mean, that doesn't look terribly healthy there, but whatever.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Use the Joker lap to your advantage to dodge everybody. This is a timed event, is it? Or do we have other cars there? Alright. Here we go.
Go, go, go.
I made mistakes there. Okay, just for learning how the vehicle handles first.
You need to take the Joker before the end of the race, or you will get a penalty.
Okay, that was alright, not too bad. Had to learn how to drive the car for that first few corners, so we lost quite a bit of time on that opening lap. But let's see where we ended up. 8th place. And it seems the Opel Corsa was the right one to drive there. Darn. The wrong car again, but at least I was the top finisher in that car. Typical. There wasn't much in it, was there? Look at that. Wow, wasn't much in it. I certainly lost that second in the opening lap. But let's see, where's the next person with the Volkswagen? The next person down was down there. There's only 3 of us in the top 50. Wow, I wonder what I could have done in the Opel Corsa then. That's a bit of a shame. In the wrong car again. Continue. I wonder, is there a way of looking at this? I don't know if there's a way of looking at the leaderboards before I do the race. I'm obviously picking the wrong car, so I'm not entirely disappointed with that. I actually felt I could get more out of it. It amazes me how busy the leaderboards really are, actually. I was expecting there to be a bit less on the leaderboards. Oh, you can view leaderboard there. Okay. There's a weekly challenge here. Ah, lengthy rallies though, aren't they? So if I do, so that's a couple of dailies done. Oh, it doesn't let you see the leaderboard though. That's strange. When you pick a different event. That's a bit, how do people know what car to drive in? That's what I want to know. What cars do you need for this? Alright. Let's see. Now. I don't think I've actually, I was just thinking about wheel settings. I don't think I've done much to it. I've just reduced the rotation down. So sensitivity is at 45. There we go. That's literally all I've done. I've reduced the sensitivity because I have it very pointy for Gran Turismo, because if you think about a control stick, it has very limited movement. So what I've tried to do is simulate somewhere between a control stick and a steering wheel. It's not, I've not driven it like a real car. I've tried to find a balance between controller and wheel handling that I think works as the game intends. Sometimes controller players are at an advantage. They get a bit more turn. Nelly, there's a lot of review codes. There is a lot of review codes out there. You know, I mean, you know, it's one of those games that we've kind of missed out on, really, because we haven't got it until sort of the last minute, which is why our review is later and our content is later on this one. We didn't get to produce the kind of preview content that we were hoping to produce, but it's been a bit like that recently. As I say, it's all about, you know, chosen YouTubers and, you know, market control these days. Everything's sort of changing a bit. Let's see. 7 stages as a weekly challenge. Shall we have a look? What do you think? What do you think, guys? What would you like to see? I could do what? I just find these cars so boring. I want to do a different car. It's a problem. I don't want to do these old cars. I quite like driving a modern car. Store. Team.
In the garage, you can view the vehicles that you own, take a test drive, or buy and sell the cars that are available to you.
So I guess when I buy more cars, you know. Right. We'll have to do career. Career mode. Career is where it's at, viewers. And I've got loads of damage on the car here, as you can see. Yep. Yep. Okay. New Zealand. We had a viewer from New Zealand earlier. Come to New Zealand. Anyone know when pre-orders get early access tonight? No. I don't know the timing, viewers. Don't know the time. We've got Mike's Foxtrot saying hello all. Hello Mike's Foxtrot. Alexander says try R5, best car in the game. I will try some different cars actually. I'm going to do a career rally now, earn a bit of cash, and then we will. Let's see how we get on with this rally. Let's see how we get on. So we get on.
Starts 30, 4 left tightens, into 5 right, into 4 left.
Hi, Thunderbolt. You've missed loads, Thunderbolt. You've missed loads.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 30. 4 left tightens into 5 right. Into 4 left. Into 2 right long. Opens. Into 6
Okay,
right of a crest.
okay, that's... Wow, we're travelling at 2 mile an hour. See, crashes like that I find so irritating because I crashed then because my speed perception didn't perceive that I was doing more than 10 mile an hour into that corner.
2 right.
Just feels like I'm going so slowly trying to do some of these corners.
4 left long. Tightens. Toe.
Oh, well, we're just going to have to cruise it, aren't we? I think what it is, after the speed of the Rallycross, which feels quite speedy, oh, this feels horrible.
Opens.
This is so boring. So boring in this car. I feel like I'm going 1 mile an hour.
Right long. Opens. Into 4 left. Very long. Tightens. Opens. Don't cut. Into 6 right. Don't cut. Into turn 2 left long. Opens. Tightens. 3. Into 3 right. Tightens. 6 left. 6 right. Into 1 left. Tightens. Into 6 right. And keep left into 1 right long. Opens. Into flat left. 30. 5 right long. Opens of a crest. Into 4 left. Into 3 right. Into caution. 4 left long. Tightens 3. Don't cut through narrow gate. Opens 30. 3 left long. Tightens. Into 5 right narrow. 2 left tightens. Into 6 right. Into 4 left. Into caution. 5 right long. Tightens 1. Into 6 left of a crest. Opens. Keep right of a 60. 3 left. Into 4 right. 4 left, very long. 80. 2 right tightens. Opens. Into 3 left long. Into 4 right. Opens of a crest. Into 1 right tightens. Opens. Into 3 left. Into 5 right. Into don't cut 4 left. Very long. Opens. And 5 right of a crest. Opens long of a crest through narrow grid. And keep left of a crest. Into 4 right. Into slow 2 left. Tightens don't cut. Into 3 right of a crest, into unseen, don't cut, 1 left long tightens. Keep right of a 30, don't cut, 5 left. Into don't cut, 1 right long. Opens. Into 2 left tightens. Into 1 right. Opens of a crest, into 3 left, and 5 right of a crest, opens long of a crest, slow 4 left long, tightens 1, tightens. Into turn, 1 right tightens. Keep left over 40, 5 right. right of a crest, very long tightens. Into 4 left long, caution, tightens bad. Into 4 right long, opens of a crest, 30. 5 left, tightens of a crest. Into 5 right. Into 3 left tightens. Into cut, 6 right of a crest long. Into slow turn unseen, open hairpin left, don't cut. Into 6 right of a crest and jump. Slow 20, don't cut, open hairpin right. Opens. Keep right of a 30, crest. 3 left long. Opens. Into 4 right long. Opens of a crest. Into 3 left. Opens of a crest and jump maybe. Over finish, 60.
Okay. That was
We might have won that stage.
we might have won that stage. Yeah, I find sometimes what frustrates me is I feel like I'm going so slowly. So slowly it feels like. It looks like it's a field of Mini Coopers there. Alexander was saying, yeah, the Skoda feels great. It handles really easy, drives really well. I did a drive with it the other day in the around was that one? A couple of drives with it, I'm just trying to unlock some stuff basically. But you've got to go through the career with this rally car, so I'm going to do this car first.
Flat crest 30, crest and don't cut, 3 right long tightens.
How do I think
Into
it
3
stacks up
left
with the original
crest
Dirt
long
Rally?
tightens. Good luck.
I think it stands up very well. You know,
2, 1, go.
it has all the same.
Flat crest 30.
I say all the same. It does some things much better.
Into 3 left of a crest long tightens.
But there's not enough content in the game for sure.
30.
6 rallies,
3 right long tightens.
not enough.
Crest 30. Don't cut, open hairpin left. Opens.
Ah, didn't hear him. Didn't hear him. Wasn't listening. Ah, well, I just have to. Can't do anything because I don't have the mapping.
Don't cut, open hairpin left.
So that's me last now.
To keep middle of a crest.
I have to admit, this car is boring me. See, this is the sort of thing that bores me.
Don't cut.
So when I've got to drive through a game in a car that feels like it drives at 5 mile an hour, doesn't handle great,
Into cut, 5 left.
understeers everywhere, it's
Into 3 right long. 5 left.
dull.
Into 6 right long. Opens of a crest, 30. 4 left long, tightens 3. Into 4 right long.
We'll catch the class leader though.
Into 4 left long, opens. Into 5 right, slow 30, open hairpin left. Into open hairpin right. Opens 30. opens of a crest, into 5 left long of a crest, into slow, 2 right tightens. Into 1 left, 2 right tightens,
Man, I feel like I'm going like 5 mile an hour.
30,
Do you know what? I'm bored. I'm bored. I'm going to quit to main menu. Cannot drive that car anymore. Just feels too slow to me. Feels too slow to me. I feel like I'm going at literally 2 mile an hour. Let's get into a fast car instead. That's a grind for me. I kind of really wish I could have got into a, they gave me an option of a Porsche that handles like crap, and that. No, I want to drive something that's a bit more exciting. Can we do a single rally? Oh well, I don't really know what we can do there. Let's do a bit of rally on with something faster then. No, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to quit. No, it's a game ain't meant to be easy. No, it's not meant to be easy. It's not that it's hard. It's just a fact I've got to have patience now to just crawl along at 1 mile an hour through each corner in that car, because it's got so much understeer because it's front wheel drive, and I don't like driving front wheel drive. It feels to me like you've got to drive this car, and I get no. We'll do the R5. We'll do the R5. Alexander's going on about the R5. We'll do the R5. And we'll have a look at the Skoda. We'll have a look at the Skoda. We need a faster car that actually feels like it's doing something. Let's get the old keyboard. Okay. Let's try this one out. I think that's one of the big problems, actually. The Good Show's saying that it isn't meant to be easy, and he's right. It's not meant to be easy, but it is meant to be fun and enjoyable. And I think you need a bit of a difficulty curve there. There isn't one, is there? Unless you're in the Mini. I suppose that's the thing. The first rally is designed very much for the Mini, really. If I'd chosen a Mini, which wasn't available to me, I might add that car was the only one available when I started the game. Strangely, whereas on the console version, you can actually start in a Mini. Right, let's crack on. Let's do this stage.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 2 left long, opens of a crest in our bridge. Tarmac.
Oh, okay.
Into 2 right long, opens back camber. 40, 5 right, into 4 left long, caution tightens over bridge. To gravel, 30, 4 right of a crest, into 6 left, 80. 6 left long, over jump maybe, slow 30, 5 left long, tightens 4. Into 5 right of a crest, 30. 3 left tightens, into 3 right long, tightens of a crest. 50 tarmac, crest, into 4 right, opens of a crest, 30. 2 left tightens, don't cut. Into 2 right, opens of a narrow bridge, 80. 6 left long, tightens, to flat of a crest, 150. 5 right long, opens of a crest, into 6 left long of a crest, into 6 right long, tightens cut to gravel, and 6 left long, opens of a crest, 30, 5 right, into 3 left of a crest, don't cut, into 5 right of a crest, opens long, 30, 5 right long, tightens 4, 30, flat middle of a big jump, 80, small crest, 60, 4 right long, tightens, crest, into 4 right tightens, into 5 left long tightens, 2 cut, opens 30, 6 left, into 4 right long, into 3 left long, tightens, don't cut, into 4 right long, opens of a small crest, 30, crest, into 6 left long, tightens, opens, flat of a crest, 120, 3 right, opens of a crest, into 6 left, 50, caution, 2 right tightens, into 2 left, opens of a crest, 80, 6 left of a crest long,
I didn't hear that one.
tightens past junction, continues very long, and caution, tightens 2. 30, 4 right long, opens of a crest, very long, caution slow, 30, 5 left long of a crest, tightens 2, opens 50, 6 right, opens 80, flat middle of a crest, 50, 5 right tightens, opens of a crest, 80, flat small crest, 150, 6 left long, tightness 5, 80, slow 5 right long, tightens 2 of a crest, opens 30 downhill, 4 left long, tightens, opens of a crest, 30, keep left of a long crest, 30, 5 right long, slow 30, turn square right, unseen, into 5 left, opens, into flat right of a crest, continues of a long crest, into 5 right long, tightness 2, don't cut, opens of a crest, into 3 left, into 3 right, into 5 left, into 4 right of a crest, into 6 left long, tightens 5 of a crest, 50, 6 right of a crest, 80, 3 left, tightens 2, 50, crest, into 5 left long, tightens 3 long, into 6 right of a crest long, tightens of a crest long, tightens 3, opens 6 right of a big crest and jump maybe, into 4 left, opens 30, 6 left, into 6 right, into 6 left, opens of a long crest, into sudden short 3 right, 80 downhill, 5 right of a crest, into 4 left, 80,
Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it.
left,
I'd be damaged my vehicle there.
puncture on front left, 5 right
Oh
of a crest,
dear. Oh
into
no.
6 left, keep right of a 120, caution, 3 right of a crest, tightens 1, into 2 left, don't cut, opens, into 2 right, tightens of a crest, into 4 left
Oh,
long,
that's the end, isn't it? Car's
crest,
damaged.
and 6 left, and 4 right long of a crest, tightens 2, into 5 left, slow 30, unseen, 1 left, tightens, 40,
Nah, that's that, viewers. Got to restart. So, got to restart. Try it again. Let's try a different view. Let's try a different view. Give us a nice view of the stage.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 50, 2 left long, opens of a crest to narrow bridge tarmac, into 2 right right long.
Oh, you know what? Do you know what? I want to change something on the options here as well because I want a bit of stability. 2, put it on the 2. That works better for me. Restart. For me, some of these cars, they just feel better with stability, really. I was driving one of the old cars the other day, and I just felt much better with that. I'm going to talk about that in the physics as well in my team chat.
4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 2 left long, opens over crest in narrow bridge tarmac, into 2 right long, opens back.
It hasn't made much difference actually.
5 right, into 4 left long, caution tightens over bridge.
Actually, do you know what? It's changed the speed perception a bit, hasn't it? Just trying to figure out.
To gravel, 30. 4 right over crest, into 6 left, 80.
Strange. It has changed the speed perception of it.
Six left long, over jump maybe.
Actually, then we'll go back. We'll try it without it again. Wasn't quite the effect I was expecting to have on this car. Right. Let's do this, viewers. Let's do this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 2 left long, opens over crest in narrow bridge tarmac, into 2 right long, opens back camber, 40. 5 right, into 4 left long, caution tightens over bridge. To gravel, 30, 4 right over crest, into 6 left, 80. 6 left long over jump maybe, slow 30, 5 left long, tightens 4. Into 5 right over crest, 30. 3 left tightens, into 3 right long, tightens over crest. 50, tarmac, crest, 4 right.
Just wasn't turning in, was it?
30, 2 left tightens, don't cut. Into 2 right, opens over narrow bridge, 80.
No, restart. I've got to get this right. I need to try and figure out the handling.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 2 left long, opens over crest in narrow bridge tarmac, into 2 right long, opens back camber, 40. 5 right, into 4 left long, caution tightens over bridge. To gravel, 30, 4 right over crest, into 6 left, 80. 6 left long, over jump maybe, slow 30, 5 left long, tightens 4. Into 5 right over crest, 30. 3 left tightens, into 3 right long, tightens over crest. 50, tarmac, crest, into 4 right, opens over crest, 30, 2 left tightens, don't cut. Into 2 right, opens over narrow bridge, 80. 6 left long, tightens, to flat over crest, 150. 5 right long, opens over crest, into 6 left long over crest. Into 6 right long, tightens cut to gravel, and 6 left long, opens over crest 30, 5 right, into 3 left over crest, don't cut, into 5 right over crest, opens long 30, 5 right long, tightens 4, 30, flat middle of a big jump, 80, small crest, 60, 4 right long, tightens, into 4 left, opens of a crest, into 4 right, tightens, into 5 left long, tightens 2 cut, opens 30, 6 left,
Didn't hear that one. Didn't hear that one.
Continues very long and caution tightens 2.
We'll get it right. We'll get it right. Try again. Get it right. I didn't hear the call. Both times I didn't hear that call. Didn't hear that call.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 2 left long, opens over crest to narrow bridge tarmac, into 2 right long, opens back camber, 40.
Start again. God, it's so frustrating, that starting corner, I tell you. I'll have a break in a minute because it's quite intense, you know. There's a lot to learn, basically.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Because two things are going on here. It's not the fact that you're listening to him. That's 50% of it.
Opens back camber,
It's 50% of it's driving and 50% of it's listening to him and understanding exactly what you need to do on some of these corners.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Sure, I'll turn the game up for you guys, so you can listen to a bit of that for the moment. Alright then, that should be better for you guys now. Oh, I tell you. Racing GT Sport. Ah yes, Racing GT Sport, Mr. 30, while hearing Rally. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this now. Let's do this. We're trying to learn here. We're trying to learn something. It's quite hot here. It's getting hot. I tell you, I have to take the jump off actually. Hold on. This.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 2 left long, opens over crest to narrow bridge tarmac, into 2 right long, opens back camber, 40, 5 right, into 4 left long, caution tightens over bridge, to gravel, 30, 4 right over crest, into 6 left 80, 6 left long of a jump maybe, slow 30, 5 left long, tightens 4, into 5 right of a crest, 30, 3 left tightens, into 3 right long, tightens of a crest, 50, tarmac, crest, into 4 right, opens of a crest, 30, 2 left tightens don't cut, into 2 right, opens of a narrow bridge, 80.
Damn it, damn it, damn it.
Tightens,
Come on.
to flat of a crest, 150. 5 right long, opens of a crest, into 6 left long of a crest, into 6 right long, tightens cut to gravel, and 6 left long, opens of a crest, 30, 5 right, into 3 left of a crest, don't cut, into 5 right of a crest, opens long, 30, 5 right long, tightens 4, 30, flat middle of a big jump, 80, small crest, 60, 4 right long, tightens, into 4 left, opens of a crest, into 4 right, tightens, into 5 left long, tightens 2 cut, opens 30, 6 left, into 4 right long, into 3 left long, tightens don't cut, into 4 right long, opens of a small crest, 30, crest, into 6 left long, tightens, opens, flat of a crest, 120, 3 right, opens over crest. Into 6 left, 50, caution, 2 right tightens. Into 2 left, opens over crest, 80. 6 left over crest long, tightens past junction, continues very long, and caution, tightens 2.
Oh,
30. 4 right long, opens over crest, very long. Caution slow, 30, 5 left long over crest, tightens 2. Opens 50. 6 right, opens 80. Flat middle of a crest, 50. 5 right tightens, opens over crest, 80. Flat small crest, 150. 6 left long, tightens 5. 80. Slow 5 right long, tightens 2 over crest. Opens 30 downhill. 4 left long, tightens, opens over crest, 30. Keep left over long crest, 30. 5 right long, slow 30, turn square right, unseen. Into 5 left. Opens, into flat right over crest, continues over long crest, into 5 right long, tightens 2, don't cut. Opens over crest.
come on, come
Into
on.
3 left.
Oh, goodness me. It's hard.
Into 3 right. Into 5 left. Into 4 right over crest. Into 6 left long, tightens 5 over crest. 50. 6 right over crest, 80. 3 left, tightens 2. 50. Crest, into 5 left long, tightens 3 long. Into 6 right over crest long. Tightens over crest long, tightens 3. Opens, 6 right over big crest and jump maybe. Into 4 left. Opens, 30. 6 left, into 6 right. Into 6 left, opens over long crest. Into sudden short 3 right, 80 downhill. 5 right over crest, into 4 left. 80, crest, downhill, 5 left. 50. 5 right over crest, into 6 left. Keep right over 120. Caution, 3 right over crest, tightens 1. Into 2 left, don't cut. Opens. Into 2 right, tightens over crest. Into 4 left long. Opens over crest. And 6 left. And 4 right long over crest, tightens 2. Into 5 left, slow 30, unseen, 1 left, tightens. 40. 3 left, tightens over crest, into 4 right. Into 3 left, opens over crest, 50. 1 right tightens. Into 6 left, opens over crest, 70. 5 left over crest, to dip and caution, 5 right tightens, 2 over crest. 50 downhill, 1 left tightens. And 4 right long over crest, tightens, 2 tightens. Into 5 left, opens over crest, into 5 right over junction, 30. 4 left, into narrow, 6 right. Flat left, 40. 4 right, keep in over crest and jump into 3 left, tightens, don't cut. Into 4 right, opens over crest, into caution, 2 left over crest, tightens 1. 50 over crest, downhill, 2 right tightens. Into 2 left, 40. 4 right of a crest, into 5 left, very long, tightens 4 of a crest, into 3 right of a crest, opens, to flat right of a crest, 30, 5 left, don't cut, into 6 right, opens, flat middle of a jump, to keep left over 80, 5 right tightens, into 4 left long, opens 50,
Damn it.
flat middle of a big jump, 80, 6 right, slow 40, keep middle of a crest, into 3 right tightens, into 3 left, into 3
Damn it,
right
damn
of
it, damn it.
crest,
I'm hitting the
into
brakes,
4
it's not
left,
working.
opens 50,
Damn.
into 3 right of a
18-second penalty.
crest, into 4 left,
Oh, that is so
opens
frustrating
50,
after all that. I think the car may have sustained some damage now. It's not handling right.
6 left, 100, flat right of a big crest and jump, 50, flat crest, 80, 6 right of a finish,
Oh well. So far so good. So far so good. I mean, I think, like you say, you could knock 18 seconds off for that penalty, 10 seconds off with the other mistakes, and I think it would have been better then. But no, I think with the faster cars, it's much more fun for me as a game. I think grinding, with the slower cars is something that doesn't appeal to me in the slightest. But I really like the faster rally cars. For me, it's much more intense. You feel like you're in the moment. You feel like there's a bit of speed there. You can slide the car nicely through the corner. Definitely appeals more to me as a gamer. So there you have it, viewers. That was a bit of action there.
50,
Now, Ninja prefers a Mini and a Mark II Escort. The Mini is easy to drive. It's nice. It's just too slow. That's the problem. It's fun to drive actually, but it's so easy. There's no speed to it. I did it earlier and it's just too slow. Start with a Mini because it's the best way into the game. Don't start with a crazy fast car. I mean, the problem is, like when you're doing streams like this, I've been playing the game now for 2 hours. Rallying is intense to do for a long driving sessions. It's for me, it's better in short doses. But yeah, so far so good. Did most of the stage okay, and then big mistakes at the end there crept in. You hear one call wrong, you do a bit of car damage, and it's all over.
flat middle of a
No idea, Gabriel. No idea about Animal Crossing. I don't think there'll be any of that.
crest, 60,
I mean, there's very little life to the circuit, really. I mean, there's no people. Marshals blowing their whistle every... Oh, there's some people there, actually. I found it to be very quiet, really, in terms of crowds and people.
30, 6 left, into 4 right long,
That's nice. I mean, there's helicopter shots. They've modelled the whole environment to get those shots. Love a good helicopter shot.
into 6 left long, tightens, opens,
I have no idea about the season-to-season thing. No idea on that. I assume you can. Ah, yes. Well, I'd say, Alexander, that esports will come, no doubt about it. In esport, everything's got esports now, so it wouldn't surprise me to see the
continues very long and caught
Dirt Rally Esport Championship in a few months' time, for sure. That's pretty intense, though. Pretty intense. So I much prefer being in faster cars. Much prefer it. My speed perception works much better in that car. Just occasionally, when the mistakes come in, it's just down to
50,
confusion with the calls. It's not the game's fault. Sometimes it's mine. It's so intense listening to the calls, and it's funny. But I find that I crash on the same corners all the time. So there's definitely sort of links to calls sometimes when he goes like 5-3-2, and you're getting confused because you're so focused on the piece of track that you're navigating that you, by the time you get there, you've forgotten what the call was, basically.
4 left long, tightens, opens of a crest, third. Unseen.
Yeah, Last Ninja, absolutely. We've had that on the website. So they've signed an esport deal with Motorsport Network, who own autosport.com and motorsport.com, to do,
Right.
if you haven't seen it actually, let's just share the
Into
news
5 left.
as we cover it all on Team VVV. Let's take a look. And where is the news this week, viewers? Well, the news is, let's take a look, here it is. If you guys haven't seen it, that's the news that about the esports situation at Codemasters.
Into 4 right of a crest.
Michael, rallying's a bit like snooker, think a few corners ahead. Oh, you do, but it's just the fact that you've also got to have the capacity to drive what you're driving and think a few corners ahead. And I don't think people do that in video games. I think people learn the stages. You know, I can tell you all the experts on this game could turn off the co-driver because they don't need the co-driver. They learn the stage inside out. You use the co-driver to initially get through it, but the experts will all be using memorising the tracks basically. That's where the random generated tracks came in, because it meant people couldn't memorise them, you know.
Downhill 5
New
left.
grid would be pretty nice. Yeah, simulation-based touring cars. Absolutely. I might play some Grid Autosport next week. Actually, I enjoyed Grid Autosport. I might play that. Not that anyone will watch it. I mean, by then there's 67 people online watching now. I can guarantee when I play Grid Autosport, you'll have about 5 people watching it. It's a real shame because whenever we do a video or something on Grid Autosport, I love it, but nobody watches it. Nobody's interested, and that's the problem. That's why we don't have more grid games. You know, it just doesn't generate the interest that other games do, which is a real shame because I thoroughly enjoyed it. But then I like quite a few good racing games that the general public, in general, depends on what's marketed to you, really. Surface degradation, it will. How the surface degrades will add to it, for sure. In terms of times.
1 right tightens. Into 6 left. Opens of a crest. 70.
Last Ninja liked Onrush, shame it didn't take off. For me, I didn't like Onrush. I didn't feel it was a finished concept. I thought it was a technical demo, but not a finished concept. I got bored of Onrush in 10 minutes. I literally got bored with it and thought, it isn't for me. I remember turning to somebody and saying I can't hear my vehicle, and all the vehicles required no skill to drive. I'm not saying you need to be like this, but you know, you wanted to feel like you had to find the right path for your vehicle and stuff. There was none of that. You were just hovering above the ground with wheels. So just wait and see. Slendy saying, how's the handling feel? It's good. It's good handling. It's not perfect, but it's good. It's good. I think some of the cars handle better than others. We're going to have a look with the controller quickly. Actually, I was supposed to do that. Well, I'll be naughty not to try it with the controller. So we'll have a quick look at the controller, and then we will let's have a look. Let's get the Xbox set up. We will see. That's perfect, and it's good. So let's just get the Xbox working. Do do do.
Right of a crest.
Do do.
Left. Opens 50.
This is now. Let's just get stuck in. So, oh, that's my car was slightly damaged at the end there, which was a real shame. But right, let's
6 left, 100.
let's just
Right above the big crest and
set that up, and let's exit that. So that was good. That was good. Return to main menu, and that was a bit of that. We're just going to quit now. Before we do, that's not what we want to see there. Back out of that. Xbox. There we are. There we go. It's ready to go. So you need to connect to RaceNet. Yep, connected. Okay, jobs are good. Let's see now. Dirt Rally on Xbox. I've got different things to set up. See, I've got my little TV remote that I have to go between my different settings here, my PC and my consoles, and then I know where we are and what we're doing. Come on, that's it, select that, and there we are. That's simpler now. Now we're on console and we have the Xbox controller. What do we have on here? Do we have different vehicles? Have we got the same daily challenges? That'd be interesting. We do. We do have the same daily challenges. Aha. Trouble is, I've got to do them with this. But can we do them with knowledge now on what car we should have? We can do them with knowledge, viewers. Right. Water. Get some more water. We sorted. Right, viewers, I'm going to be right back in just a moment, and then we're going to use the knowledge to get on there and do some damage with Xbox in just a moment. Xbox play to come. Hello, Neil. Hello, everybody. Right, I'll be back. Alexander says, let's go online. There's nobody online at the moment. It's all quiet until people actually have the game. But we will have a go at this daily challenge. What shall we do first? Let's just do this first. And there's only one car available. That's interesting. PC there was several. Okay, so we're using the controller. It's going to be gloves off. Gloves off, viewers. The gloves are off. Controller, Xbox controller time. Ready. Ready. We're going to turn the wheel cam off. We don't need it. So we get on with the controller. With the controller.
Use the Joker lab to your advantage. You only need to take it once. If you miss it, you'll get a time penalty.
Move the mic just a little bit there. Okay, this is the Xbox version now. Xbox version. Just changed to the Xbox, so we're going to be using Xbox controller.
Go, go, go.
Oh, well, I wasn't ready. Oh no. Oh, slower start. I'm definitely better with the wheel. Oh, wow, don't know why that happened. Oh, terrible.
Okay, Joker next lap. Joker next lap.
Not too good there. Not too good. What was I? 4 seconds slower. So I was, but that wasn't the game's fault. That was my fault there, not being as good with the controller. Bit disappointed with that run. Bit disappointed. Look at that. We're down 79th place. Oh, that was a bit disappointing. Was a bit disappointing. But there you go. There you go. Frustrating. Frustrating. And look at that. If I'd got... Oh, that's up to 53rd. Oh, that's a bit frustrating. I'm disappointed by that, viewers. Disappointed. No, I'm not messing with the settings. We are not messing with the settings on the controller at the moment because we really want to assess what they've done. Now I'm going to work on. I've got a cup of tea here now. Okay, we're going to try do the daily challenge on the rally then. Let's try and do the rally now, viewers. Let's repair the car. Let's do the repairs. Get stuck in. Right, let's do this now. Let's do this, viewers. And there you go. A little bit of marketing as well for Glenn. Glenn does the music for our videos. Awesome. Top man. Glenn. Awesome. Appreciate that. 20 million views. Magic tea. This is magic tea. I tell you what, tea actually, it just opens your mind. Oh, it's just like refreshing. I'm a tea addict, you see. All right, let's do this. Let's do this, viewers. We're going to go bonnet cam. We're going to go bonnet cam, I think. Shall we? Shall we? No, we'll stay in car. No, we'll go bonnet.
Starts 50.
No, we'll stay in car. We'll stay in car.
Right, open 6
Because we're used to in car now, I've got a better speed perception, even though this car's slow as anything, right, comparatively.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 56 left, 30. 3 right opens, 6 long. Into 1 left long. Into 3 right tightens. 50. 2 left long. 50. 4 right long. Into big cut, 5 left. Into 5 right long. Opens of a crest into 5 left. Extra long. Into big cut, 5 right. 60. 6 left. Opens 30. 6 left. Into 5 right tightens. 50. 6 left. 150. 5 left. Extra long. Into 6 right. Into cut. 5 left long. Opens 100. 6 left. 50. 6 left of a crest, slow 50, 2 right. Into 2 left long. Into 3 right. 4 left. Into 6 right, extra long of a crest, 60. 6 left long, tightens 4. Into 6 right. Keep left of a 30, 3 right tightens. Into 4 left long, into caution, 3 right long, tightens 2. 100. 3 left, 30. 2 right long, opens of a crest, 30. 4 left, into 5 right. Into 3 left, opens 6, extra long, 30. Keep left, into 2 right long. Into 6 left. Into 3 right long. Opens. Into 6 left. Extra long. Tightens 4. Keep right over 50. 3 left tightens. Into 4 right. 30. 1 left long tightens. Into 1 right. Into 2 left. Into 3 right. Keep left over 50. 2 right long. Tightens 1. Tightens. Into 4 left long. Opens. 30. 2 left. Into 2 right. Into 2 left long. Opens 50. 5 right long. Into 4 left long. Into 3 right tightens. Into slow. 5 left. Into 1 right long. Tightens. Opens. Into 6 left. Extra long. Tightens 1. And 2 left tightens, 2 right, into 3 left, into 4 right, over 50, 2 right long. Into 5 left. Into 3 left tightens. 30. 5 right long. 30. 4 left long. Opens over crest. 30. 6 left long. 30. 3 right long tightens. Into caution. 6 left over crest. 3 right tightens. Into 6 left. Into 4 right tightens. Into 3 left tightens. 30. 5 left. Into turn. 2 left. Into 5 right long over crest.
Damn it.
Into 4 left long.
Just hearing that wrong there. I just heard him say 2 left, and I thought, all right, that must be the 2 left.
Into 4 right long over crest. 30. 6 right. Keep right over 80. 6 left cut. 150. 4 right. Opens over crest. Into 4 left. Extra long. Opens. Into 6 right long. 100. 6 right long. Opens. To flat crest. Into 6 right. 100. 6 left over crest long. Into 5 left over crest. 50. 4 right long. Into 5 left. Keep left over 50. 4 right. Opens. Into 4 left long. Opens over crest 100. 5 right long. Opens 30. 4 right long. Opens over crest 80. Slow. 3 left. Opens 5 long. 50. 6 right of a crest, 100. 6 left, opens 100. Flat long crest, 80. 5 right, extra long, 50. 6 left long of a crest, into 6 right long. Keep right over 80. 6 left long, 100. Flat middle of a long crest, over finish. 80 to stop. Stage finished. Well done.
Whatever. Hello, Qubit. Absolutely. A bit more wine for Mr. 30. Absolutely. Saving, keeping my palate dry. There we go. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Few mistakes here and there. I mean, obviously, I don't know who these guys are. I mean, that guy there, 5 minutes, he must be like an esport player or something like that. But it's not too bad. It's I got to say, it's amazing how many people are already on, sort of competing on various leaderboards. I mean, here, who are all these guys? Are these testers? I don't know. I wonder who these people are. Quite interesting, isn't it? Am I the fastest Brit? I don't think so. I don't think so, but we'll take a look. Let's go up to the top. A bit strange. Okay, it's just struggling to keep up, isn't it? By Joe, I think I am. There we go, representing the UK. Just about beating other dirt player there. And using a controller. Doesn't tell you on the leaderboard whether they use a controller or not, which is a bit of a shame. Let's see what filters we have. Okay, that's okay. Well, that's all right, isn't it? That's all right. That's interesting for the daily challenges. And we can have a little look. That was a good challenge there with the controller. Good challenge. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? We've got the chat coming from Twitch tonight. We've actually got a few people on Twitch watching. Amazing, amazing. Actually, for what it's worth, as I've mentioned before, but I'll mention again, you get better quality video, actually, surprisingly, streaming on Twitch. Look at that. Twitch, we have 17 viewers on Twitch. We're making the big time. Making the big time on Twitch. Getting there. Dirt Rally is pushing the boundaries, which is good.
50.
Ah, yes. Your username is better. Yes. Your username is more appropriate there. Yeah, so we can call it Miss to 30. So, brilliant. Ah, yep, good. WRC, thanks for that. Yeah, it's interesting with the controller. Let's try some more controller gameplay. So, as you can see, it's quite playable with the controller. I've got assist turned off. How do the tarmacs physics? They feel okay. I think there's a decent resistance on the car. I think my issue is more to do with weight transfer. Some of the older cars, I feel personally that you do need some stability control in there, because the cars seem to be swinging around everywhere, and I think that's something which you've got to remember. There's a lot of people who will say everything's perfect, but it's not. There's always work to be done. I mean, even when you have rally drivers on board, it's not about just having a real physics model. It's about conveying that physics model to the person playing and making it feel right. So Last Ninja's off to see if Anthem works. Yeah, look forward to seeing what Anthem's like, actually. I mean, obviously don't have it myself, but I've just hit a button on my keyboard. Bugger. Oh dear. No, it's my leg. Yeah, we are playing a little bit more in the way of general gaming, and there's going to be more and more of that on the channel, hopefully, moving forward. Not on this channel. You'll see it on Twitch, and you'll see it on Team VV Games on YouTube. But something's crashed on here, is it? Something's crashed. It's crashed. Oh, okay. All right. There we go. Okay, it's done. It's done. So that's the daily challenges done, and you can't do them again. So that's good. That's good. I do feel quite tired, actually, after all this driving, viewers. It really is. I've turned the music off, actually, but I think we can have the music on in this game. I don't think it necessarily has a big impact on. So we'll turn the music up again. Somewhere there it was. Turn that up as well. There we go. Everything's back to where it's supposed to be. Okay, so have I driven the Porsche, the Beetle Porsche? I have. It's Neil, take a break. I know. Yeah, it's been a lot of driving. It's been very intense, isn't it? What have we been doing? 2 hours 23 minutes of rally driving. Wow. It's an intense game, viewers. Are all of you? What games are you guys all looking forward to? Racing games and other stuff. I'll have a little break in the chat for a bit. we go, the team involved in making it. Clive Moody there, VP Executive Producer. I interviewed Clive back in 2008 for, what was it for? Grid back in the day. That was a good interview. He gave me a good long one for that as well. Good long interview. I've been doing this for a long time. Where's all the years gone? Over a decade. Goodness. Is there anything racing gaming wise after Dirt 2? Well, there is actually. There is Wreckfest coming to console. So I think Wreckfest is the next big game. There is an unannounced game coming to console soon. There is Xenon Racer for arcade gamers coming next month. There is Grid Autosport coming to Switch if you want a bit of racing on the go. There is other racing games coming that I can't talk about. And then there is GTR 3. It's a good call there from Glenn. And of course later in the year you've got Formula 1, WRC 8, probably a new MotoGP, maybe a new MXGP. And then you've got other stuff coming at E3. Need for Speed. I mean, Need for Speed. What can we say about Need for Speed? Let's just talk about Need for Speed for a minute. There's not much to say about it, is there really? It's just a game that has lost its way. Neil's talking about two titans going head to head. Help the competition with WRC8. WRC8, people have given Kiloton a hard time. You know, WRC 5, 6, 7, you know, they're coming from, they're like the Renault Formula 1 team. They're at year 3 of their 6-year World Championship plan. They need more time. You know, they've had an extended amount of time now to build this new game. And this new game now they've got it to this stage, they'll be able to develop it. And you got to remember, WRC will have 14 locations. And the rallies in WRC7 were beautifully designed. They just needed more. I remember racing it and just thinking, I want more of these rallies. And I really enjoyed it. And the handling was great, you know. So, but I think something they need to work on is their replays in WRC, especially for esports, because the replays are not great. And they need to work on the physics of the replays, because when you look at esports as well, they use ghosts with the other cars, and the physics aren't present in the ghosts sometimes, and they look a bit odd. Or if they are present, it doesn't look right. Marfran, Need for Speed is done. Need for Speed is done. You know, Need for Speed, where what's going on with VA? I mean, you know, Need for Speed should be amazing by now. You know, they should have built on that year after year. It should be like almost a Grand Theft Auto of driving games, you know, massive cityscapes and countryside, you know, hundreds of cars, you know, the ability to drive with your friends and in races, and if you want to do the illegal cop chases and stuff like that. You know, there's so much you could do with Need for Speed. It's such a wasted brand. EA, just, you know, ask me. I'll help you make it. But they won't. It's amazing. Game developers, you know, they just don't take the advice. Kiloton seriously disappointed me. For me, I wasn't necessarily massively. I thought the Isle of Man TT circuit, the circuit modelling was amazing. Where the game lets itself down is lack of career. There's nothing to do. There's no training mode into it, and also there's some handling issues where the bike just comes out from under you, and it just doesn't feel right. Or you go over invisible bumps and they just take you out. Or when you slow down, sometimes the bike just continues off the corner, and it's not right. However, some bikes handle better than others, and I enjoyed Isle of Man quite a bit, actually. I got quite a lot out of Isle of Man. It wasn't the game it could have been, but it wasn't a bad job either. Definitely, in terms of modelling the circuit, an incredible job. I kind of hope one day they make an Isle of Man 2, because then I should move the mic a bit closer. Then with Isle of Man 2, they could build on that first game, improve the physics, add extra modes. It could be brilliant. Lizard says, is the Rallycross better here compared to Project Cars 2? That's a good question. I prefer it in Project Cars 2. I think Project Cars 2 has got really awesome Rallycross mode actually in Project Cars 2. I really do feel they did a great job at Rallycross in Project Cars. I think the circuits look more realistic in Project Cars as well. Lohiak definitely looked better in Project Cars 2 in particular. I say that having been there. Project Cars 2 was bang on. It really was. And here it just looks slightly shorter, slightly different. Yeah, just everything felt a little bit better in that. EA moved to a loot box model with zero story. Yeah, EA have got a bit obsessed with all these ways to make more money. You know, that's where they've a little bit obsessed with all these ways to make more money, and you know, it's a shame because you know, the games suffer, don't they? You're just not gonna get. You know, they're rushing the games out the door. They're saying this game's got to be complete now, and that's it. They're rushing it out the door, and I don't know what's going on in EA. I don't know why they go through those phases with games, but yeah, they've made some bad decisions over the past couple of years, really, and they've just got the wrong people in there making decisions. Basically, you know, sometimes they've got to, but you know, if they've got the wrong people in there, they're going to have a staff change, basically. But let's face it, EA's never been an easy company to work with. I mean, they don't work with us at all. I mean, we would never be, you know, give EA advice, they wouldn't take it. And, you know, like all companies now, that these big companies, they've all got their chosen YouTubers they work with. You know, there's a very sort of structured marketing plan, you know, and that's kind of the way it works now, you know. So I've said this before, but I think I mentioned some of this in the podcast, but, you know, when you release a game like Need for Speed, they just say, well, release Need for Speed, we'll spend loads on marketing, we'll tell all the big YouTubers to tell everybody that the game is brilliant, people will listen to their YouTubers, they'll tell them it's brilliant, and they'll buy it, and that's the end of it. There's no, you know, and that's the people they speak to, do you know what I mean? You know, that's the funny thing about YouTube, is it's like a wave. You know, when you get caught up in it, like for example right now, and here I am on for 56 viewers or something. If I'd done a stream like this 5-6 years ago, I'd probably have had 500,000 viewers, you know. But you're in and you're out sort of thing, and that's kind of the way it works. But when you're in, there's all that control and everything, and there's a lot of influence that people have. But EA like to use influencers, but we're not influencers at VVV. You know, we're an independent media, so we can't do things like that. We won't do things like that. It's not what we do. So if Need for Speed is rubbish, we'll just tell you it's rubbish. I mean, Need for Speed not using manual gears or steering wheels was rubbish, basically. How many locations in Dirt Rally 2? 6 rally locations. I think it's 6. Yeah, 6 Rallycross locations. Neil Doherty, Virtua Racing or Micro Machines? Different time, different place. For me personally, Micro Machines is a great multiplayer game. Micro Machines 2 was phenomenal multiplayer on the Mega Drive. Had incredible times playing that years ago. But for me personally, give me V-Rally. You know, V-Rally is V-Rally? Sorry, no, Virtua Racing. Virtua Racing. I'm not a fan of V-Rally 1, actually. Virtua Racing. That's why I use Virtua Racing on my... Actually, I like Ridge Racer, all the old games, Daytona. Love all these games. Mr. 30, you gave ideas and suggestions to Kiloton. You know, the funny thing is that it depends at what stage and also how much time they had to put into it. We never really know what goes on in game development. You know, you don't know what budget teams have, or how long they've got to develop those games. Why sometimes they're listening or why they're not. Sometimes they do listen. Sometimes they have a culture of just ignoring the community. Sometimes I'd have a community manager telling you, "Hey, brilliant! Thanks for your ideas, guys," and they just go in one ear and out the other. You know, they're just a community manager giving you, you know, sort of just being an audience really, but they're not really listening, which is a strange one. But then that's because you've got some developers that think they know it all. And don't get me wrong, they're incredibly talented. But sometimes when you're in that bubble, so all you see is in that bubble. When you come out of that bubble, when the game's released and everybody plays it, that's when you've got to listen. You've got to get through that pain barrier of hearing people say nasty things about your baby that you've worked on for 2, 3, 4 years. You know, that's really difficult for everybody. So it's definitely a challenge. You know, I mean, I'm a critic. You know, there are developers that probably watch this stream. There may even be a developer watching this now, and it will pain them to hear when somebody like myself or other people are critical. And you know, you don't like to be unfairly critical. The internet is an unfair place. It will criticize you as a YouTuber, the amount of horrible things you have said to you, or as a game developer. You know, you've made this product that you think is, that you know that you've probably exceeded expectations in the company. You've taken a small amount of resource and you've made all this out of it. You know, and you're thinking, you know what, we had enough resource to make 4 locations. We managed to make 6, and we had enough for 5 cars, and we managed to do 30, and people are still complaining. But in the wider bubble of the whole world, you have to look at the finished article and compare it for what it is. So, yeah, I've got a cold cup of tea here, but let's drink a bit of this. Keep it saying, when you played with a wheel, were you getting good opposite lock feeling with a wheel? Yeah, I was. But it depends really. It's very difficult to say. Believe it or not, with this wheel, I'd like to do more time with the proper rally wheel. So I will try it again with the Thrustmaster. When I go to the Thrustmaster, it's going to be a very different experience. So I'll definitely come back to that Qubit for sure. I even knew people that included in TT game but didn't make any difference to developers. Yeah, again, we don't know what goes on in a studio, Mr. 30, really, when it comes to things like that. I gave suggestions as well. I mean, I played an early build of Isle of Man TT, one that you guys didn't see, and wow, I mean, handling it early on was in a real play. I mean, you were just riding down straights and you were hitting bumps and just flying off the course. I mean, it improved massively, and graphics are nice. I think there was lots of good things in Isle of Man TT. I just think that some of the handling of some of the bikes, some of the inconsistencies were the problem. But I got a lot of enjoyment out of it as well. You know, just where I had a problem was with slow corners and the bike oversteering and just steering in, and I had no control. Bumps, invisible bumps you had to slow down for, or occasionally powering out of a corner. I couldn't power out of a corner with any kind of wheel spin. I felt that you had to do it in a very grippy way, otherwise the bike just was going to fall off the track. Well, visually, yeah, I mean, I've got there's a visual approach to Dirt I'm not so keen on. Again, that's all in the upcoming team chat. I'll leave it for that. Get my impressions across more concisely in that. Mr. 30, you're absolutely right. There wasn't enough time spent on handling. No way was there enough time spent on handling. And we don't know what went into developing that, but that's definitely the lack of handling and the lack of career let that game down. That's what rated it down for us. Most of all was the career mode. At the moment, Kim, I don't know, but I'm assuming the game should be out in about an hour, so hour or two, maybe 2 hours from now. Ben saying bring back Test Drive Unlimited. Absolutely. I mean, I did a lot of Test Drive Unlimited videos back in the day. Yeah, I did a lot of Test Drive Unlimited videos back in the day. I wonder did any of you guys see my Test Drive Unlimited videos back in the day? Got too many playlists on the channel now, unfortunately. Over the years, it's all got a bit out of control. I should have made a separate channel for playlists for our website pages. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of Test Drive Unlimited back in the day. I wonder. Yeah, unfortunately we can't show any of it, but if it actually works here, it's be interesting. No, we can't actually show it on there. Show a bit, but yeah, I did quite a bit of Test Drive Unlimited too. At the time, we did a lot of coverage on Test Drive Unlimited too, back in the day, and I really enjoyed it. And if and when a new Test Drive comes out, I'm hopefully going to do a lot of content on that again. I enjoyed Test Drive, so you know, it's certainly something I enjoy, and it was a lot of fun to play. So thanks, Neil. Appreciate it. You know, we are sometimes a bit forgotten, I think, but we're doing our job still. We're working really hard on news on the website all the time, podcasts and content and all kinds of stuff we're working on. And it is just me and Kevin, so we work really hard between us to keep it all going. Yeah. So my videos are pretty old now. My old I don't know if we've got like my old videos when I used to and if you guys haven't seen them, but there's long playlists of all these videos back in the day, using a Fanatic wheel, funnily enough, there as well. So the graphics were rubbish, okay, the handling wasn't great, but there was something about it that was quite fun in its own crappy way. Really enjoyed it. You know, oh, brilliant! Thanks a lot, Mr. 30. Appreciate that. You know, I think we always say it as we see it. The problem is when you say it as you see it, and you're critical about a game, you always annoy people. You annoy the game developers, and you annoy the hardcore fans who think that game is perfect. What I try to say to people is, and then people say, oh, you know, Alan is anti-Forza Motorsport, right? Because I don't like Forza classically with a wheel. I haven't played it recently. I don't like Forza Motorsport with a wheel. I don't think it handles right. It gives me no feeling, doesn't handle intuitively. And then people say, oh, Alan hates Turn 10, or Alan hates Forza. No. I'm just explaining about that issue with a wheel. I don't dislike the game. It's just not for me because the wheel input needs work. That's all there is to it. There's no personal connection to it. It's just another racing game. You know, yes, there are games I personally enjoy. Some of the games I enjoy, I don't stream because people don't like them. I enjoyed Redout quite a lot, but people don't enjoy it. So, and Diogo, there is. Please hello to my racing team, ART Grand Prix team. Hello, ART Grand Prix team. Oh, that's okay, Mr. 30. That's no problem. But yeah, I mean, so videos like that one there, there are many videos like that from years ago. So I've been running YouTube now for 10 years. This year I've been running the YouTube channel. 10 years. 10 years of running a YouTube channel, but we'll never hit 100,000 subscribers. It just never happen. I think whenever you start a channel, you think, can you make it one day? But my channel never will. It will never get. It may never get to 70. It may never get there ever, which is crazy when you think that we'll hit 40 million views this year, but we'll never hit 100,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So it's just the way everything is controlled. YouTube is controlled, and everything else. It's not just down to view, not just down to quality of content. It was years ago. That's long gone now. It's many layers of control. Do you ever get kickback from devs? In what way, Ben? In what way? I get kickbacks. In what way? Marfran, Forza Motorsport is the last iterations were rubbish. Turn 10 are very good at getting the most out of the Xbox hardware. They've always had great graphics, but since Forza Motorsport 5, the physics have not felt right. Cars have massive wheel spin when the traction control is turned off. It's not right. They don't handle well with a wheel, but they handle fine with a controller because they're made for a controller. I remember, saying to a developer on a game, I don't want to say which one actually, but we were playing it a few years ago, and when people turned into a corner in the car, they'd use the wheel, the car would keep turning, and you'd do opposite lock, and it wouldn't do anything. You'd just fly off the course. And I said to the developer, there's a problem there when you're steering. And he said to me, it's because you're not used to using a steering wheel. I said, no, I use a steering wheel every day. That's not how it works. Every time you get to that corner, someone's going to spin off. And every time we watch people falling off the same corner. Sorry, Ben, you're right, Ben, you're absolutely right. So take Ben's thing there about being too honest. Has caused us problems. There are games companies that don't talk to us, that have stopped us seeing their games. If they're concerned that the game isn't great, they won't let us see it. And what happens is that you end up with sort of a two-tier situation where you've got these big famous YouTubers who you give them the game and they get millions of views. They don't need me to see it to generate views. But I just say it as I see it. You can fly me to Los Angeles and show me a game, and I'll say it's good, or I'll say it's not good. But if you fly a 19-year-old kid there who's never been out the UK, he's going to be like, oh my God, I'm going to a games company and I'm seeing a game no one's seen before, and it's the best thing ever. And it's going to be a different ball game. So yeah, we've had challenges. Some people get angry, don't they? And they make big blogs ranting about things, but I don't. There are games companies that have been awful to us behind the scenes, and we've come out and said that their game's brilliant because it is. I think the day that you start criticising games because you don't get on with a company or something like that is you may as well stop doing this. Do something else. If it's good, credit where it's due. Credit where it's due. That's how it works, and that's how I work. Credit where it's due. Whether you like it or you loathe it, that's it. And if I think a game's great, I'll say it. And the audience will have a go at me and say it's rubbish, or they'll disagree. It's fine. Welcome to. But I see it for what it is, and that's how you've got to. That's how you've got to be. And then you've got nothing to worry about, because you say, I saw that game, I liked it, that's what I thought. And that's life is relaxed when you're just honest about what you like and don't like. But yeah, sometimes it has caused problems with games companies when you've disliked their game, and that's that. Then you don't get games or access for the next 2 or 3 years. But I don't go on YouTube and rant about it. I just say fine, we don't cover that game. And then people have a go sometimes. I say, Alan, why are you only playing this game? Well, I would play other games if we had access to them, but I can't go on about that. So you kind of get stuck with certain games. So things are not as simple as they might seem from the surface. But me and Kevin, we cover everything on the website. If you check out the website, everything is on there. You know, if a company doesn't want to talk to us, that's fine. We'll still cover their game. You know, because that's what we do. It was just, you know, it's tough going, but it's what we do. Is Dirt 2 more arcade than the last one? No, it's not more arcade. You know, the simulation physics they've worked really hard on. They've worked hard on textures. They've worked hard on weight transfer. I'm not certain I agree with some of the weight transfer on some of the vehicles. Doesn't feel necessarily right to me. But then I'm sure John Armstrong's worked on it, and he's a real rally driver. So, you know, it's one of those things. We've got Gamer Muscle videos here as well. Is that you, Gamer Muscle? Is that you, Gamer Muscle? On here. It is Gamer Muscle. I am well. Good to hear from you. I hope you've been enjoying it on the channel. I'm having a little break. You, of all people, will know how intense this game is. And literally, when you play like 2 hours of Dirt Rally, you're like, my head just can't take any more directions for a minute. It's pretty intense. I thought we'd have a chilled chat about gaming stuff. How have you been finding it? How have you been finding the game? I did tune in earlier. I saw a bit of your rally action. It was hard going. Absolutely, I am indeed. You know, I am impressively tall. Don't you'd think in this seat. This is actually, believe it or not, when people sit in a racing seat, this is actually how they're supposed to be. Your head is supposed to be here, and that's how you're supposed to be driving. Of course, when I sit in it, I have to sit up like this, so I'm much taller. But so it's luckily it's still high enough for me to actually sit. But absolutely, Gamer Muscle is here, and the thing is, Mr. Gamer Muscle is yeah, I've been playing a little bit of iRacing, getting set up. I'm now back on iRacing, so I'm not back on it yet, but I've got to get the wheel tuned. I'm getting locking brakes, and the wheel's not handling right. But when I get it sorted, I'll come on there. And you know, I actually watched one of your videos a few weeks ago, one of your streams, where you went into a US lobby and really just annoyed people. It's really terrible, but it was funny. Unfortunately, you had an accident in the end, and that was it. Peter Bolt says WRC7 or Dirt 2.0. Oh, we're getting competitive now. Well, you know, I think it's unfair to compare a game from 2 years ago. I think really the deal is going to be WRC8 or Dirt Rally 2.0. That's the question. Both coming out this year, and I think that's going to be the question between those two videos. We have met. James and myself have met. We we should do a race soon. Absolutely. I'm actually happy to do a Gamer Muscular race. So that would be great. Even if we do it, we could do it actually next week. Tomorrow, I'm out tomorrow evening, and on Saturday I've got the GT Sport Nations Cup. So we could do it. We could do it during the day tomorrow, or perhaps next week. I'm happy to jump on there as well. I've got to get. The voice chat is the best part of iRacing. Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Well, it's when you're talking. You know, I think you can take the rampant abuse that you can wind people up and take the abuse afterwards. And I very much enjoy watching it. I'm too nice, basically, with everybody. That's the thing. I'm too nice. So, yeah, we're just... Oh, damn, Wonky. Yeah, we missed... I'm just probably getting to the end of the stream. We're having a bit of chill chat for the moment. The voice chat is the best part of iRacing now, absolutely. I've got to... I think iRacing, you know, you've got to be you've still got to be quite selfish in iRacing. I think when I first played it years ago, I was being too nice and didn't want to touch anybody. Oh wow, we got King Jev in here as well. Brilliant. And I saw Jev. I was watching your race last night, your GT Sport race, and you were a bit unlucky. That was thrilling action at Brands Hatch though, and in the Suzuka race you had a bit of bad luck. So it was good fun racing though. That was Lucas Ordness was in your race as well. So that was good action, Jev. I do enjoy your streams. You, Gamer Muscle, do check out, if you don't know these chaps, check out Gamer Muscle videos and King Jev there. They do great streams. King Jev in particular on GT, and Gamer Muscle on sim racing and VR. Mr. VR. People are scared of me. I'm just bigger in real life, gentle giant. I am very competitive though when I'm behind the wheel. I that's when no more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm going to try a quick rally in a moment with a pad. I'm just chilling for a moment, because if you haven't played Dirt Rally, when you play a couple of hours of any racing game, it's tiring. But wow, Dirt Rally is just exhausting to play. It's so intense when you're driving, listening to everything. It's so easy to make mistakes as well. It's really tough. I mean, people have sort of referred to it as the Dark Souls of racing games, but it really is a big challenge. Absolutely, Jev. That was you've had some good races recently though. You did have one recently at Fuji, I think, where like 2 or 3 guys took each other out in the final lap, and it really was a moment of excitement where you're thinking that's it, and then suddenly everybody goes off and you're like, yes. Love moments like that in racing games when it happens. Yesterday I did a tweet about being taken out of a race, and a guy literally just bashed me off the track, and I finished second in my FIA race yesterday, and I would have won the race. It was damn frustrating, basically. Eyes do burn after playing a fair bit of this. It's a tough rally game. It's a tough rally game, and it as I say, I've got some issues with the visuals. So in terms of the artistic style they've taken, it does look very dreamy. It's not my cup of tea in terms of the style, but I've talked a bit about that in my upcoming sort of review chat. I'm giving so much of the review chat away, but dots of tea, absolutely. Tea is what keeps me going. I literally have 2 cups of tea here at a time to get me through, and a pint of water, because I dehydrate. It's when you're in the car, and you're driving, you always need a straw or something just to keep hydrated. I mean, obviously we're very physical people. It's important to convey that sort of physicalness, and just keep yourself hydrated. So I'm good like that. I'm good. Absolutely, Jeff. Yeah, that Fuji moment though. Wow, that's the stuff dreams are made of. I thoroughly believe it or not, Gran Turismo's had some great racing. It's got, the physics are, I think, quite underrated. I think it's got a really good feel to it. There's all these people talking about different games and different physics. When I look at games, and Gamer Muscle will probably, his head will explode now because he knows quite a lot about this because he plays a lot of them. But I think something like take race from racing experience. One of the big problems with racing games is when you're turning into a corner, there's not a consistent pressure on the wheel. There's, when you're turning in real life, you feel for the whole consistency of the corner is pushing against you, and then you're onto the straight. What happens a lot in wheels in games is that it leans for a bit and then it sort of runs out of power. Maybe that's because I don't have a direct drive wheel, but you do sort of feel that it's definitely tarmac elements that you don't get. But the point I was getting at was that Gran Turismo conveys many things very well. That's why I'm enjoying it. It's intuitive. It's not perfect, but it's intuitive, and I really like that. And I think race from racing experience and Assetto Corsa they've all got their elements. I would like to race you guys on Assetto Corsa at some point as well, but I've got to learn how to get PC gaming running properly with my PC, because even though this game worked earlier, iRacing doesn't. When I play iRacing and I'm streaming, because it's using the same graphics card, it's displaying 84 frames per second, but I'm actually getting more like 20 to 30. So it's a little bit tricky to play iRacing at current. You need a consistent, smooth frame rate on iRacing to play it to the maximum. So, Gamer Muscle, what do you think of Dirt Rally 2.0? What have you thought about it so far? And Jev, are you getting hold of it? Have you already got it? Are you getting it? Absolutely, Jev. Well, you do very well on the controller, but Jev is a chase cam scumbag. Chase cam. Actually, I do enjoy it though. I kind of wish I could drive more from the chase cam. But I need the feeling of speed, and that's something which some of the rally cars in this don't give me that feeling of speed. So let's have a look. Let's just do a quick rally, quick time trial. I say quick time trial. Some of these stages are an half long. Poland. Let's do a short one. And let's do this. Let's do a bit of this. Chase cam. Exactly, Greg. Chase cam. You chase cam guys. I'm using a controller now, but you know what? There's none of that chase cam business. No. Superior physics using in-car view. And Greg's, have you been watching the Formula One testing? Actually, for all you guys, have you been watching the Formula One testing as well? Absolutely, Gamer Muscle. I mean, if you like rally games, you should be buying both. I think that's why when people say, should I buy one game, WRC or Dirt Rally, buy both games. I mean, why wouldn't you buy? If you buy Dirt Rally though, I would say it's essential you buy the deluxe. You get the season pass, you know, because the extra rallies are essential in terms of the package. Neil, personal taste. No, absolutely. I like to be strapped to the bonnet. That's a really good. That's a high taste. Let's get stuck in. Right, focus now. Focus just for a stage, because I can't read comments and play this. Here we go. Controller action.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Flat left, 50, turn 6 right of a crest, 6 left, 50, flat middle of a crest, 80, keep middle of a jump, 50, 4 right narrow, 80, keep middle of a jump, 50, 6 left over jump long, tightens over crest, jump, 120, keep right into 5 left long, narrow over bump, into 6 right, 80, over long crest into 6 left, tightens past junction, 30, 4 right narrow over crest, don't cut 5 left, opens long into 6 left, 30, 4 right long, tightens over crest, 50, don't cut 4 left, into 6 right, into 6 left long, 30, 6 right of a crest, opens extra long, into slow, 6 left long of a bump, into 3 right of a crest bump, into 4 left long, into turn 1 right, opens long, tarmac, don't cut through bales, keep right of a 30, turn 1 right, opens of a crest, gravel, 50, 5 left,
Nearly went the wrong way there.
right of a crest, opens long, tightens of a jump, into 5 left of a crest, tightens very long into 6 right, 50, 4 right, extra long, opens flat of a crest, into 6 left, into 6 right, into caution, 5 left of a jump, 50, 6 left, very long, tightens of a bump, 50,
Got away with that.
4 right long, into slow, 6 left of a crest, 30, turn, 1 left, don't cut, 30, 6 left, 100, 3 right long, tightens logs outside, opens of a crest, 50, tight, 6 left of a crest, extra long of a junction, 30, keep middle of a jump, into 3 left long, tightens, 80, flat right of a crest, extra long, 30, 3 right long, opens, 80, 5 left of a crest, extra long, caution, tightens, 3, into 4 right long,
Oh, damn.
into 4 left, into 4 right, don't cut, 120,
It's close.
crest, into 5 left, tightens, into 4 right long, of a junction, middle, 6 left, extra long, 170, caution, 5 right long, tightens 4, slow 50, turn unseen, 1 right, opens, extra long of a crest, 160 over bumps, 4 left, extra long, tightens turn, 5 left, opens 80, 4 left at bail, don't cut, 30, turn unseen, 2 left around bail, cobbles, don't cut, 3 right, 3 left and 1 right, tightens around bail, cobbles, 30, 1 right, don't cut, 2 left, 40, turn 2 left around bail, tarmac, 160, over finish, 50 to stop.
There we go then. Bit of controller action there. So it's getting used to the car then. Is kind of what we're doing there as well.
Turn 6 right of a crest,
So
6 left,
let's change the camera view. There we go.
50,
There we are. So what are we talking about here? Thanks Gamer Muscle, thanks for tuning in. Always nice to see you saying hello, and that's brilliant. And see you again soon. And let's sort out that game. If you're still there, let's sort out that game. Have a bit of online dirt rally and other stuff as well. Always look forward to it. We'll have to get, you know, a selection of YouTubers, have a YouTuber championship. I can imagine Jimmy Broadbent and Super GT though would be quite hard to beat. That's for sure. Harder on the controller, Jeff. No, actually, I think it works pretty well for me. Obviously, because I use a wheel, but the actual progression of the pads is really good. It's my problem is oversensitivity in terms of my use of the stick. Like, I can't play Formula 1 very well on a controller, but there's guys who are like best in the world on the controller. I'm a bit too heavy-handed with the stick. So having said that, Gran Turismo handles perfectly with a controller. So I think you can do fine with a controller on this. As for best in the world though, I have no idea. I mean, I couldn't say. I was definitely quicker. I should try it with the PC version, shouldn't I? Do I have a favourite car at this stage? I don't. Well, I quite like this one for obvious reasons. I've only just driven it, but I quite enjoyed that stage. Actually, it was the thing about playing this on a stream. Actually, is normally when we're playing racing games, you can talk while you're driving, and you can read comments, but you can't with this game. It's so intense that when you do a rally stage, you've got to listen to what he's telling you, so you can't talk, and you can't look at comments, because though you're trying to sort of look at them a little bit while you're driving, you're 3 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 6. It's challenging. Look at that, great shots like that though. You feel that Colin McRae vibe. Absolutely. It is. Actually, one of the things, Jev, is the power consistency is really good through the controllers on this in terms of acceleration through a corner. So once you get that feel for it, I think you can play it really well, but lots of practice required. And also bear in mind, I've never driven this car until this run, so I'd spend the first sort of few corners trying to figure out how does it handle, and then after that you kind of get the hang of it basically. So that all works really well. I think really good job they've done with the control. I mean, this Codemasters always do a good job with controller handling. They always do a good job generally. That's me there. That's not them. Look at the scene there. Look at that. The fields, the trees. That's what I like about a good rally replay. It's mapping the whole environment. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be super dialed in to this to really focus. But also you've got to practice stages. That you'll find that there's always like 3 or 4 corners on each stage that are just do you every time. And it's mainly because the calls get a bit confusing in your head, or you get mixed up what corner is, or it looks like a 4 and you go into it and it's actually a 2 and it just throws you off the corner. So it's tricky in that way. Tricky. Absolutely. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're a skilled player. You'll adapt to it quite quickly. I mean, this is me adapting to it here. This section was more tricky, but as you can see, look at that. Not bad. It's not bad. Considering I don't know where I'm actually going, it's not bad at all. Look at that. So, I think when you put a bit of time into it, you'll be, doing really well. I think. Hey, look at the car there. Nice detail on it. Really nice detail on the car models. This is the Xbox One X version for those that are just joining now. But it looks the same on PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X as far as I could tell. And the PC version has 60 frames per second replays because PC. I mean, there is superiority there. Mark, how's the PC versus Xbox graphically? Console versions are excellent. I mean, there's a bit more clarity to the PC, and you have 60 frames per second replays, but that's it really. The PC has slightly better lighting model, but I don't think you can complain. I think the Xbox version looks great. Great. You'll be fine with the wheel. Handles great with the wheel. I think controller handling is the thing that is going to be tricky. But as I was saying, it's can we slow it down? We can. So if we get some nice shots of the cars. Love views like that. It's great that they've got views like that in the replay. You can have it in real slow motion for those scenes that you really like. I mean, that's nice, isn't it? When you can do little slow mo. So when you're doing your you've got King Jev here, Mr. 30, King Jev in the YouTube chat here, and you've got Game of Muscle as well. Game of Muscle and King Jev. Both Both great streams, always worth watching. If you want to watch regular sort of racing. Look at that. I love a bit of slow-mo as well. It's nice to see. This car, do you know when you look at it, it fills you with that feeling of heritage. And I went along to the Race of Champions in 2007, and they had this car there, and Colin McRae passed away that year, shortly before the Race of Champions, which was a real shame and very sad. And you know, it was such a huge shock when it happened, and so they still brought his car along, and they had a bit of an event around it. That was when Lewis Hamilton turned up as well, and his first year at McLaren, and Michael Schumacher was there racing with Jenson Button, and different times. Lots of noise, lots of smoke. A great event that was. Just too cold there. That was the problem with the Race of Champions. But this looks good in slow-mo, doesn't it? It's nice to see a bit of slow-mo as well. Especially when you get that right angle. I think if you're a YouTuber and you want to make edited videos, it's going to be about editing those shots that you really like. And on the PC, this will look pretty darn amazing. Understeer. Oh, understeer. I've probably hit the handbrake now to try and sort it out. Looks great though, doesn't it? That's the thing. Especially when you have lots of smoke, it will look really cool. Nice smoke, sort of dust. There's a photograph there, isn't it? It's a photograph there. Just seeing the car in action. Take a picture of it. Probably use one at some point for Instagram. But in a way, this is the heritage of Colin McRae Rally, isn't it? And I think in a way, this car hasn't been shown enough, because I think it still has that heritage of rally. I don't know why. This era, the Colin McRae, Tommy Mäkinen, Carlos Sainz sort of era is an amazing era for rally. And back then it was much bigger in the UK. I mean, it was a much bigger sport. It used to be on grandstand on a Saturday afternoon, and crowds were huge. It was different, very different then. So a real highlight. Yeah, they've definitely worked on some of the smoke effects quite well, actually. I keep calling it smoke dust effects, dust plumes. They've worked hard to improve that, and surprisingly, they also work quite well in slow motion. What can we? And they kept tone in the music there. That's really nice scenes. There you go, just nice something chilled for the evening. You know, it's late on a Thursday evening. You guys are waiting for the game to be released. What more can you want? I'm gonna take a photograph of this again. I'll take a picture off the screen. I'm gonna put some of these pictures on Instagram or something. That was a great picture shot there, wasn't it, though? And that right there. Let's look at that again. That's a nice sort of photographic image, I think, personally. It's great. I mean, it shows you where racing games are going, though, doesn't it? I mean, we're on Xbox and PS4, but the next generation is coming in the next couple of years, and the graphics will take a quantum leap forward again. It's going to be amazing when you get to rally games and Formula 1 games and Gran Turismo in the next 5 years. It's going to be amazing. Brilliant. Art of Grunt worked with the McRae family, helping the charity. Brilliant. Brilliant. Todd McDanger, rally and chill. Absolutely, rally and chill. Do you know, too much rally is just stressing me. It was stressing me earlier. It was just too intense to do, like, literally hours of rally on a stream. I needed a break. You know, it's funny, but it's different when you're doing a racetrack on Gran Turismo, because you know what's coming, and you know some corners are quite easy. There's probably like 2 challenging corners on each lap. You've got to think for a second, but other than that, it's just stick with it basically. But on this, every corner is a massive challenge. Every single one is a challenge, and there's so much time to find on every corner. I mean, when you learn this section, you'll be going 30 seconds faster than I went then, when you learn this section properly. It will make a big difference. Big difference. So we have a nice bit of chill, guys. I'll do a bit more driving in a moment. We've got Greg's VR there. Momentary, and looks at you. I'm at the slow-mo. Got to move in slow motion. I was at that slow-mo. I tell you. I've been to many racing events. Rallying's good fun. But there's no big screen there, so you get people blowing whistles and rally cars flying past you. When the weather's good, it's good. When the weather's bad, it's wet. So rallying rallying has such a keen audience. You know, you see people in their wellies trudging through mud, climbing through trees, trying to find a vantage point. They'll walk like 5 miles through undergrowth just to get a view of a car practically flying over them. Jamal, is it 60 frames on PS4 Pro? It is. Had you all at a bit of slow-mo. That's not a good slow-mo moment. That's a better one. Love a bit of slow-mo. We're just slow-moing the stage down now. HDR. I don't know if I've got HDR running, because I streaming HDR is an issue. Recording HDR is an issue. So I don't tend to use one. Also, I'm using a non-HDR screen, sadly. My computer screen's here. And if those of you are wondering, actually, I did show the other day, didn't I, what my screens are like. But I'll give you guys an idea on my views. So if you guys haven't seen here, I'll just give you a little tour of my setup. So what we've got is we've got my view here, which is, you can see that's the screen with the wheel there. So when I'm driving, I get a nice view of the dials and everything. So that's that, which is nice. And then over here we've got our streaming software, which is great. And then over here we've got your chat, which is sort of hidden behind the microphone. So often I have to sort of lean round to see the setup. But there we go. Actually, we can see it better here, can't we? If I change, there you go. A bit of chat and chill. There it is. So that's my view when I'm racing. Well, actually, that's my view's a bit higher. It's about there. So gives you a nice, authentic look on a big screen at how it looks, which is great. So let's just. Now I've dropped you guys. I'm going to find you, save you, put you back. There we are. There we are. Put you back in place. There we are. Fix the camera back there. Let's see. So what do we got here? Been here since Test Drive Unlimited 2, Jamal. Brilliant. All those years. A bit younger then. bit less grey hair, but still just as passionate about all this sort of stuff. Always the passion. And as I say, if there's a new test drive one day, I'll probably spend. The streaming's been good for me because I never used to do streaming. I used to do video all the time, and it's been good. You know, I find that it's great that you guys can see live play, see me playing, and also it's given me an opportunity to do stuff I couldn't do, like this now. More, look at that. That's a nice shot as well, isn't it? Leaning into the corner. Handbrake's turned on at that point. You can see the rear wheels locked up. Bit of handbrake just to get the car in. That's really nice. We like a bit of that. Like a bit of that. It's going to be you guys doing your rally. Look at that. Great. Yeah. You know, there's a lot you can do, I think. I don't know if you can zoom in. It would be nice if you could actually zoom, though. Zoom the camera in at moments like that, because you can't edit it in any way, and I'd really like to be able to zoom in on moments like that. But I guess if we rewind that, and I guess if you film the screen, you know, and you just try and do that now. Actually, I'm just going to try and film it, and then that way. Just film a bit of it for a second. That's pretty darn cool. Pretty cool. Bit of Radio Allen for the evening, viewers. Yeah, it's nice just to be able to chat about things, isn't it, really, rather than have all the videos. I mean, what have I been doing? I've been watching the Formula 1 testing for today, for these last few days. I'm going to do a Formula 1 testing blog because I would like to get back to doing doing my F1 blogs again. I've really enjoyed the F1 testing this week. It's been brilliant. It's been the best F1 testing I've ever seen. You know, cars never used to come out the blocks and race like that, I tell you. It's changed a lot over the years. It would have been nice to have been more involved in it all, actually. I always wanted to get involved in Formula 1 stuff, but it's so difficult, isn't it, now? You know, it's all sewn up. It's great, you know, to see, like I say, how it's all developed, though. Esports is changing the whole racing world. Everyone's waiting for the game, aren't they? It should be ready any minute. I'll know when it's ready because I'll suddenly look over and it'll be like 0 viewers. It's just like everybody's gone. It's like, everybody's playing Dirt Rally. It shouldn't be long now for you guys. Absolutely, Mr. 30. Well, that's nice. It's nice to have a bit of rally and chill. I think that's what you need. Rally and chill. Thanks, Todd. New podcast hopefully will be up tomorrow. There's quite a lot of editing going on in it at the moment. I was supposed to be editing it tonight. I've been naughty. I've been playing Dirt Rally instead. So I told Kevin it would be up tomorrow. But we've done the podcast. It's quite a busy podcast, actually. We didn't do one for a couple of weeks. So, thanks for subscribing, Todd. We've got the new one coming up tomorrow. It's got a lot to talk about. But, we're just catching up with news. Next week will be a bit of a quieter one. We're going to hopefully push for more questions from people next week, just to get through next week, and then after that it should be weekly, and then we're looking at how to get it onto iTunes and stuff like that, so you guys can hear weekly racing news and my opinion on it and Kevin's opinion on it. And Ben's not going to buy it. It's going to when more content comes. Absolutely. I mean, you've got the season pass, and that details all the first bunch of content, so you know when it's all coming. Yeah, certainly there's content on the way if you buy the deluxe version. So some of you guys have got to wait for the postman, Jim the postie, absolutely local postman. Ben Williams liking the Rallycross. Is that? Terenge just saying, I think Mercedes just pretending to not be insanely fast. That's because Mercedes is sandbagging, basically. They're not showing you their speed. Listen, you see Toto smiling the other day. He's like, look, Ferrari's really quick. Ferrari are the best. No, that basically means they're using nothing. Go to Australia. Everyone gets excited at this time in testing, because at this time every year you think, cool, look, the Force India looks good, the Renault looks good, the McLaren looks good, or they might close up this year, we might have different winners. You get to Australia, Mercedes 1 second ahead. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, they've got Magic Mode Mark II, and that's it. You know, suddenly, you know, it might qualifying is where Mercedes dominate actually more than the race. The qualifying pace is the Ferrari traditionally has better race pace and qualifying pace in some respects, so it depends on qualifying. AV Flashback has a good point. I mean, like you say, when you've got Dirt Rally 1, you know what's in there. So, and as I say, it would have been nice to have had the Dirt Rally 1 tracks already in here, as well as new tracks. I always said, how do I listen to your podcast in the USA? Well, it's on YouTube, and it's as I say, we'll put it on iTunes as well. I don't know how iTunes. I'm not an iTunes expert though, so I've got somebody who's going to help out with that. The broadcasters just want it to be unpredictable. They do, and you know there is some unpredictable things in Formula One this year for sure. I'll talk about that when I go through the teams. I mean, there is the midfield battle is going to be fierce. I think you're still going to have McLaren, Ferrari, and Red Bull at the front, but as for everybody else, let's see where Renault end up. You know, I'm quite keen on the Renault. They've got brand new car. Nico Hulkenberg can barely stop smiling. Nico was smiling all day today. He's like, yeah, car just broke down. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you know, it's like I've never seen a driver so happy when his car's just broken down. But he knows his car's got some speed. That's why he knows what it feels like. I mean, the minute you get in a car and you turn the wheel, you know, these drivers know there's some balance here. I can lean on this car. It feels good. It goes where I want it to go, and they can build on that. Well, actually, Vettel said one. He does. Well, actually, Greg, you know, Vettel does come up with some good comments. It has to be said, some good one-liners, and you know, there are some funny years. I remember Melbourne. What was it? Was it 96? I think was a funny one. That was when Damon Hill and Frentzen, I think, were racing in the Williams, and cars were going off. Lacey going off, and Frentzen, everybody going off. And I remember them watching it and thinking, goodness, it's like first day at school. Everyone was flying off the track. Cars were breaking down. Mayhem. It's changed a lot now. I mean, it's because when Lewis is driving his Mercedes, there's 450 people on computers controlling the engine, the temperatures, and telling them what to do in the car. You know, it's completely different now. It's all so programmed. And also you've got simulators now. They didn't have simulators back then. They probably had a drawing of the racetrack, and they probably went around the racetrack on a drawing, just brum, brum, brum. You can imagine whatever tactics they had, you know, pictures they'd look at, videos to try and learn the track. They didn't, you know, nowadays they've got a simulator. They do 10,000 laps before they even get there. But yes, I hope I would like to see McLaren do well. I would like to see Renault doing well for Ricciardo's sake, for sure. I like Nico Hulkenberg as well, so I like both those guys. I think they're a very strong lineup. You know, we're just enjoying some rally and chill here. I mean, how can you not enjoy a little bit of this rally, this iconic rally car in slow motion going through the stage? And that's it. That's it. Thanks for the follow there, Mick. Which reminds me, Mick Schumacher, isn't it, coming next year into Formula One? Maybe we'll see. In GP2. I haven't yet. I haven't seen the bit on Jim Clark. Jim Clark was a phenomenal driver, and it's great that they've talked about these drivers from years ago. People forget how good these drivers were, and that's why sometimes record books are irrelevant these days, because these drivers have scored the most points ever. Yeah, but they earned more points than they ever did. Oh, this guy won more races. Yeah, but there used to be like 6 races in a Grand Prix season, and now there's 22 or something. Stats are they're completely irrelevant, really, in Formula One. I find that it all depends on where you are. And when you look at some drivers who are phenomenal, but their cars broke down in every race, you know, if you look at the retirement records of some amazing drivers, it never tells you the true story. I guess, I mean, there have been a few drivers, I forget all the names of different drivers I've sort of followed over the years that I felt were some of the greats, but obviously, you know, you talk about people like Gilles Villeneuve. You know, for me, I'm a big fan of Nigel Mansell. I grew up with Nigel Mansell being my hero driver, and you know, he was just phenomenal. I mean, what a driver, what a driver. I mean, it really was a time of magic. It's completely different now. You know, it's always been about the car to an extent, but the driver could bring more to it then than they can now. Now it's Graph, how many degrees of rotation of your wheel are you playing this? I set my wheel to 360 degrees. 360 degree rotation I set my wheel to, because I like to, if we can turn the camera on, can't we? Because I like to, with this wheel in particular, I can't feed the wheel anyway, but I generally go by the technique of 2 hands, they go on the wheel. You don't take your hands off the wheel, ever. Whatever the steering wheel you're using, you're working like that. And with a wheel like this, obviously, I can't move my hands. That's why this wheel isn't great for rallying, because when I'm handbraking, I would put my hand there in the middle and then pull it down when you're handbraking. But of course I can't do that, so I'm having to press the handbrake with my thumb, because I don't have a handbrake set up at the moment. I do have one, I've got a Thrustmaster handbrake, but I will change the rim at some point and check out the Thrustmaster. The Thrustmaster Sparko rim is fantastic for rallying, isn't it? Well, it's a proper rally rim, isn't it? I love it. So I will do that. Greg loves gritty Street Fighters. Absolutely. I mean, there was a determination in the drivers that is still there, but it's more pre-programmed now. It's less natural. Also, I think they talked about the other day the changes they'd make to Formula One. They're getting rid of tyre warmers, but for me personally, remove the practice sessions. Right, have one practice session that's 1 hour long. No full race simulation. Okay, you set your car up for the race, and that's it. After that, you get set up for qualifying. That's it. 15 minutes for qualifying, 45 minutes to set your race up. That's it. You've got 450 people back at base with computers. Get them to earn their money. Take out driver radios. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Why should the driver be told what buttons to press? Same with tyre temperatures. You know, what's my tyre temperatures? What's my tyre No, you've got to understand your tyres. I think that's the thing. Also, no live data. I'd get rid of live data during races. I would have a black box recorder on the car that records all the data. They download it at the end of the race. So the driver has to drive the car. That's it. And the team can't tell them what tyres to use or what the degradation is. They just work. Rally drivers, they don't have a team of 100 people telling them what to do they? They have a co-driver and they've got to drive it. This is real driving in that sense. They are driving that car. You set the car up, you give it to the driver, they have to deliver. And that's what a rally driver does. You know, he has to work with the imperfection to the environment. You know, that's it. Absolutely, Mr. 30. Yeah, Six Nations, of course. Yeah. We won't go too much into that because we're on automotive, but it is England v Wales. So, you know. Come on, England. It's going up this weekend. But yeah, no radios. I'll get rid of the radios. Get rid of the live data. Get drivers driving the cars. And then what would happen is the driver has to assess with his information on his steering wheel what's going on. If he's got temperature warnings, he'll have to change his driving style. If he's got brake temperature, tyre temperature, engine temperature, he'll have to work with it. AV saying, hope Ricciardo wins a race this season. He's got some stick for going to Renault. He's got some stick for going to Renault, but he didn't really have many choices. He couldn't go to Ferrari, he couldn't go to Mercedes, and for me personally, I know Karen Chanderhock was saying the other day he feels he made a mistake. I don't. I think he knew that he wasn't going to get anywhere at Red Bull. Red Bull is, you know, it's become Max's team, and that's that. You know, so I think Ricciardo is at that stage of a driver's life where he's got wins, but he's never going to win a world champion at Red Bull. They're just not going to allow that to happen. He's got about as much chance of winning a championship at Red Bull as Eddie Irvine did at Ferrari. Yeah, I mean, you've got to recognise when you're going to be manoeuvred into a number 2 driver position. When you have 7 retirements like that, you know something's going on. Bit of testing. So, no, I think he did the right thing, but we just want Renault to get on with it. And let's see if he gets some podiums. I'd like to see Ricciardo get a podium. I've driven a lot of sports cars and stuff like that, but only karting. My big problem is graphics. I'm too tall. I find it really uncomfortable racing. So I can test cars, but I find more than testing, it's just uncomfortable for me, basically. And that's where I can live my passion through my racing games and simulations, where it's very uncomfortable for me in the cars. I'm too tall. When I'm racing, I'm too heavy, basically, which is a bit of a pain, but I'm just over 6'6". So unless you're absolutely loaded and you've got someone who can buy you a proper longer wheelbase car or something, you're stuffed, unfortunately. Racing doesn't suit giants in that way. Neil saying, come on Ireland. Are they playing Scotland this weekend? Will Pikes Peak be in Dirt 2 in the future? What do you think about Pikes Peak in the series? Pikes Peak will not be in Dirt Rally or any game because it's now exclusive to Gran Turismo. So Pikes Peak will appear in Gran Turismo at some point, which is, well, I suppose they've taken the dirt part off now, haven't they? It's all tarmacked now, which is a shame, Pikes Peak, because I felt it was great when it was the part tarmac, part gravel. It's a shame, but no, it won't be in this game or any other rally game now, sadly. It's a real shame because it is always a great addition. It's a great challenge. But it won't be in this game. And of course it was in Dirt Rally 1, wasn't it? And Sebastian Loeb Rally. Sebastian Loeb Rally was great as well. Really underrated game. But, you know, Sebastian Loeb had terrible audio though. The game really had, poor audio let that game down. This game doesn't. It has great sounding audio, stuff like that. So, you know, it's just needs more content, basically. There's all the people waiting. They've blown the whistle. This person's taking a selfie down in the bottom corner here. What's he doing? Behind the steering wheel. Got a selfie guy. There it comes. Do you know, it's funny when you look at this and you talk about standing placement at rallies. Our Cubit is also very there we are, you see. Yeah, it's a bit of a pain for racing. You're quite bent over in the car. It's quite uncomfortable. Italy v Ireland, well, that should be no problem for Ireland, Neil. No problem there at all. I feel for Italy. They try so hard. It just always a bridesmaid. Gravel GT great now. Tarmac is understeering. Whatever you do, it depends on the car actually. To do gravel in GT Sport. Sorry. I don't know. I still think the cars don't feel natural to me on GT Sport. They're still a bit strange. So I'm actually okay with GT Sport. I think that they still need to work on the rally side. The cars sort of slide over it in a very unusual way. It doesn't feel realistic to me. Well, not at all. Where can you watch WRC now? I forget now. Is it on Channel 4? I can't remember. That's fine, Sage. Good to see you guys tonight. Yeah, good to see you on the channel. WRC 541 being Oregon, got WRC Plus. Yeah, I mean in the US, I mean there's a lot of competition for sports in the US, and rallying is very much seen as a European sport rather than US based. I think that's why Ken Block came over. You know, he wanted to, and they want to grow things in the US, like Formula One. They're trying to grow it, but sometimes the coverage in the US isn't as good as it could be on some of these sports as well. How am I liking this compared to Dirt Rally 1? You know, it is an extension of Dirt Rally 1 so far. There's lots of improvements made to it, and there's still a lot to discover. Kevin's actually played a lot more of this than me, though. He's been playing it for a serious amount, and he's been enjoying it. I mean, that's not to say the game is perfect. That's not to say I don't have issues with it that I'm not happy with, predominantly related to the lack of content in the base game. But there's definitely things to improve for the future, but it's a good foundation. Let's just hope Dirt Rally 3 takes it all further forward. That's the thing. Takes it further forward. But yeah, it's been a good chilled stream tonight. I hope you've all enjoyed the stream, and I'm going to let you guys go, I think, because it's been a nice chilled, relaxed chat with you all, and a break after the intensity of a couple of hours of rallying. But it's been great watching this car, I think, racing around. Is it me, or is the graphics kind of dated? It's to do with the effects they're using. They're using, Mr. Ghost, I think, a kind of a bloomy, dreamy image filter, which is making it look unreal. And it's kind of a dated lighting technique, more from the original sort of dirt games, if you like. Grid, even 11 years ago, something like that. It's got that kind of vibe to it. I don't like the lighting. I don't like the artistic approach. But again, I'll go into that in a lot more detail in our chat. But still great to see the car going past there, isn't it? Fantastic. And we've got finally to the end of the stage. The Evolution Rally games were awesome on the PlayStation. Yeah, it's a shame they didn't continue making the yellow filter. The yellow filter. It's back. It's back. and that's it, viewers. It's late now. I was kind of keeping you guys busy until the launch of the final launch of Dirt Rally. But you guys, some of you guys should have it in the next hour or so. So we'll wait and see. But if not, it'll be up in the morning. You'll be able to play it. But listen, that's it for now. I'm probably going to do some more chats, and if you guys want to tune in, I'll probably do a bit of F1 chat as well. Just a bit of F1 talking at some point. Talk about the testing and stuff like that in a bit more detail. But that's it from me for now, viewers. I hope you've all enjoyed tonight's stream. Get a good night's sleep. Enjoy your Dirt Rally 2 and every other racing game. And there'll be more from me very soon.